Let's do it. It's now or never.
Do you want me? You want the you want the intro? You want your intro in there? No, we're on.
If you
We're
want
live.
to do it, go ahead. I don't care.
Let's go ahead and do a little bit of
Whatever. I don't
let's
even.
do it.
I love the intro. That's cool. Are you doing it? I love the intro. That's cool. Are you doing it? There it is. Can't hear it though. That's right.
We are live.
Hello. We are live. Chad, thank you for being here. William, as usual, you're like Robin. You're like Robin. That's all I have to say. And I'm not Batman. I'm not Batman. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. This is James with Monotalk, or SirChad, or the State of Chad, or William Pounds, and we're all working together for one common goal. And I think our goal is so that Chad's life is better when he gets old. Oh, here we go. I just heard the monologue. But anyway, and so that Chad's daughter will have a good life, and so will mine and my grandchildren. But listen, Monotalk is very simple. We're all about people. We're all about life. We're all about saving the planet and all of its inhabitants. And I'm going to be totally and absolutely real with everybody. Thank you. Thank you for being on. Thank you, SirChad. Thank you, Will. You guys are fantastic. Here's the biggest thing right now. We have a movement, and the movement is somebody's coming. The movement is Jesse Ventura. And you know what? Here it is. There is a man out there right now that I'm not even close to what this guy could do. I'm not even minutely, like, if there was a person in the world that I thought I could be somewhat of, or be near to, or be in a sense be like, it's not him. He's bigger than that. He's way bigger than that. So what we do have is we have people that are actually out there right now that are, give me that cookie. Bring it over. Give me a cookie. Sammy. Thank you. Thank you, man. Oh, hello. By the way, we also have Stevie from Redneckonomics. She's here tonight.
Hey.
Hey. Should you be here? I think you should probably be here. But anyway, so the goal is my goal right now is to make sure that the Green Party, which is where everybody should be at. And Will, look at Will. He's a good looking kid, right? He looks good. Mm-hmm. And SirChad's always fucking cool and awesome. But what we're trying to do is bring attention to the fact that Jesse Ventura will be, in my professional opinion, the greatest thing the Green Party could ever do for themselves. No, he's not the perfect green. But here's the reality of it. Publicity. If any fucking party, which there's 250 something out there right now, right?
It doesn't matter. There's only two when it comes to actual,
the way the world's working.
Yeah, that actually counts.
So
true. I mean,
here's the thing. And I was thinking about this because I always say, like, it's a two-party system, which it is. But it's also one party with two wings, and that's what Gore Vidal. All that is just describing it and into a way to put it. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. You know what I mean? It's all of those things, because at the end of the day, it's just corruption. And
a little more corruption.
And that's honestly. So to me, that's the only thing. The only difference is Jesse is the real motherfucker that's not diving into the corruption and not into the BS. I'm uncomfortable with someone that could play in that pool of the corruption and not talk about it. You know what I mean? So it's like both sides, both the two-party system. You got both people waiting there, and they're saying, okay, well, I'm not going to say anything because we got to beat the other guys. You know, they've picked their team, and when they pick their team, they say, I'm okay with what they're doing. They're and with Bernie and what they're doing is they're always talking about the result of the issue, the problem. The problem is the corruption and the money. And if you always only fight the result of the corruption, you're never going to actually stop the corruption.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, just like these news pieces like Jimmy Dore and so many other people do, where they are reacting to stuff that Trump says or reacting to things that Nancy Pelosi says. But at the end of the day, you're just reacting and there's nothing of any substance. You're being offended or you're being angry or you're being outraged. But at the end of the day, where does that get us? It gets us nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Are we going to keep watching the news cycle, watching the same things that gets put out time after time after time? Are we going to keep watching how we're being screwed over? Are we going to keep hearing news story after news story after news story about how we're getting screwed? Or are we just going to stop listening to it and do something about it? That's where I'm at. I'm tired of hearing. I know we're screwed. I know. You know, I'm a
We shouldn't
manager.
even laugh at it. That's what's big.
No, I'm a manager. I make $9.50 an hour. I can't pay my bills. Like, it's time to stop being outraged and start doing something about it.
Will, let's ask.
Go ahead, Will.
Wait, what? I mean, you were going on such a great speech. You know, keep going.
It was epic. So in a nutshell, here we are, continuously listening to the yappity yap of everybody complaining. But what is the answer? Who's going to start the conversation? Who, in my professional opinion, is going to get shit stirred up? For me, it's Jesse Ventura. I don't see the Dumbocrats, and I'm not talking about the legislation, the judiciaries, or I am talking about the judiciaries, the executives, and the legislators for the Democratic Party, and the Republicans who are in the same boat. I'm just saying, at this time, we need somebody to bring attention to everything, right? Everything.
It shouldn't be about the person. Like, I feel confident in having Jesse Ventura as our president, but at the same time, I am a little uncomfortable about making the movement about him. Like, I want it to be about the stuff that he stands for, because I think that's where we went wrong with Bernie.
You're right. Yeah.
We made the movement about Bernie.
No, she's right. She's right.
And now Bernie's been co-opted, and now he just recites whatever Hillary or the Democratic Party tells him.
DCCCCC.
Or whatever acronym you want to put in there.
Which actually, that's a good point to say. So that way, when people say, okay, this is someone I support, it's because of these things rather than of the charisma, rather than, I mean, charisma could be part of it because you want someone that you can listen to and understand. But I think you're right, and that's, I mean, and honestly, following Jesse and following what he stands for is what makes me the most interested, because I'm against the corruption. And here's the big picture is, if you look at what Trump's base is about, most of them really is about the anti-establishment corruption.
Yes.
And they look at Trump as a vehicle rather than I think the media tends to overdo it, which what that does is only makes it look.
They skip that part.
What happened to Drain the Swamp?
Yeah.
How many votes did he get for Drain the Swamp? Because I guarantee you, Democrat or Republican, either one, you can ask them, do you think that our Congress is bought and sold?
Can I add something?
No.
Go ahead, Will. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to add something real quick. So, as you know, I'm an Arizona Green, and the chair of the Jill 2016 campaign, the Arizona chair, she Melody Shapiro Brown. I mean, yeah, something like that. I forgot her name. Let me get it actually. But the chair, I'm friends with her.
Did you say something about Shapiro Brown?
Okay, so her name is Melody Shapiro Brown.
Very
She's
well
a
spelled that is.
Okay, she's a friend of mine. She was the chair of the Jill 2016 campaign in Arizona. So she was the state chair for that. And she's excited about Jesse. Well, she's looking into him as an option for her. So I've got a stronghold for Jesse here in Arizona.
And I think people have to have somewhere to go, and if you don't engage, I mean, what's the whole point? I mean, do you not want people to see where the establishment, the bullshit is programming? Don't you want people to see that? We have to start looking at all of the cultures and subcultures. We have to step back and see them, for what they are, and how the system has programmed them, at each one, and then we can look at how they interact, and then we have to find people that are in those cultures that understand those cultures and out of it, so they can use the language and make people feel comfortable. Because that's the thing about Jesse. He's been very vocal about all these. I mean, there's questions to ask about everything. I mean, our government has been lying to us. I mean, it's pretty clear, but the way. Go ahead.
I mean, if you ask 95 out of 100 people, I guarantee you, if you stop them and ask them on the street, do you trust your government? Hell no. Do you trust your media? Hell no. They know the game that's being played. They know the game. Now, some of them will say, well, the Democrats are the good ones or the Republicans are the good ones, but they still can recognize the corruption that's at the core of our problem, which is the money that people are getting, they're being bought off. Our media has been bought off, and if we could just coalesce around that, I think that would be a great point to start. And I think Jesse would bring a lot of light to that. Now, I don't feel comfortable building a whole movement, and I don't think that's what we're trying to do here. I think what we're trying to do is bring him into the movement to get attention on it. We want attention on the Green New Deal. We want attention on, all these things that we're fighting for, but we need somebody with a voice. Our voice, we have voices here, but within a couple hundred or 1,000 people, we're trying to build a revolution, and we're going to need millions. Who is able to do that? Jesse is.
Yep.
Jesse is able to do that. He has the knowledge, the know-how, the experience. He's hit all points of all sides of this. Military, government, media. He knows this stuff inside and out, and he still, throughout all that, he's remained very humble and down to earth. I think that's a quality that is actually very impressive.
May I say something? So
Go ahead. I muted it.
What'd you do?
I accidentally muted it. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So there's a person out there that has a lot of information that people want to know about. And people are curious about conspiracy. Who the fuck cares? People want the truth, whether it leads to something or it doesn't. The sad thing about it is that it's on Russian fucking television. That is the most pathetic thing ever. So what if CNN had some fucking guts, not balls, because those aren't very strong, right? And fucking decided that, you know what, let's find out what's really going on with the Pentagon losing $21 trillion. Let's find out what's going on, what's really happening in Yemen. I mean, the list goes on. Why aren't we getting health care? You know, I mean, the things go on and on and on, but they won't talk about it because they're fucking bought and sold. And most people who have an inclination of some sort knows that they're getting their campaign financed by big pharma, big coal, big fucking everything, except for us. Oh, we got some people in.
Yeah.
Oh, Natural Progressive.
Hey.
And Upstate Raider. Good seeing you guys. Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
Oh, she checked out. Dang it.
Who did?
Natural Progressive.
Damn
I
it.
forgot to check into the chat.
Sorry. We just got on there.
Yeah, I just got back in. Hopefully she's still hanging around.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Snark in here.
we get caught up. I was saying, you just made a good point. See, here's the thing. They use talking points, and you notice it on both sides.
We are too.
Well, no.
We're our talking points.
Well, but here's the thing: is it's about pointing out the talking points and showing where they're wrong, and where kind of where they're right. Because what happens is
dissecting the talking points.
Right. Well, you and understand if you realize that they're propagandizing you from the other side, then you have to admit that they're the place on your side, whatever they're doing it to you there. People have to have somewhere to go. So the $21 trillion debt, right, is the same thing as the missing $21 trillion. You know what I mean? So anybody that says anything about the debt, I mean, there's your bread right there.
Nothing happened.
That's it. Well, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
there goes your job.
But you see, so that what that does is that takes the debt, the conversation about, oh, we got to worry about the debt, even though we know that we're on a monetarily sovereign nation, is what that does is that moots the point. Does that moot the point? No. It closes the conversation because they don't want to talk about the $23 trillion that they've lost.
So here's what's in Chad. Very good. Very good. So what's interesting is you have the Federal Reserve, and they call it the quote unquote Federal Reserve, which is privately owned. So all that has nothing to do with this. So this privately owned corporation, that money speaks for corporations, et cetera, right? Because corporations are voices and they have, money that helps them move. With that being known, where are we? We're not even a voice in the picture anymore. We're not even a part. We're not even playing in the game. And this is what's really sad is as loud as we bark and as loud as we yell and scream and whistle, we're not being heard. We are not being heard because mainstream media, social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, they dictate what's happening. And here's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is this. We're not voting for the people that really care, that really give a shit, the people that want transparency. And what I'm getting to is there's Green Party people out there, candidates. And I'm talking state, city, county, state, especially federal level, that want to be transparent. They want to tell you what they're going to do before the bills. They want to let you vote on the bill or the law or whatever legislation they're bringing up before it even comes into Congress. They want to give the people that vote. The thing is we don't have that anymore. We don't have our representation, and nobody right now with the two-party oligarchy they're not public servants any longer. They're not.
No, I had there was a man here that his name is Mitch Carmichael. He's a senator, and he actually stopped himself. He was being secretly recorded during a private meeting with the Tea Party people, and he started talking, and he said, well, I'm a I'm a legislature. He
A
changed.
legislator.
Yeah, legislator. He changed his words really quick. You could tell he started to say public servant, but he was like, no, wait. No. That's not what I am at all. We can't say that.
Isn't that interesting? That's so sad that they're not they're legislators, they're not public servants. When it was designed, Congress was supposed to be the will of the people. And I don't need to be all independently libertarian here, but seriously,
yeah,
they don't fucking work for us.
He did not want to admit the fact that he was a public servant, because then he might be actually held accountable to those words. He might actually have to what? Serve the public?
Or be regulated by the public?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't want to admit that.
Or
but
controlled by the public?
Yeah. It's insane to me.
No, they're just not there for us anymore. They're not. And
So,
go ahead, Will.
so can we see the tweet on the screen?
Filling in for Governor Ventura.
Sorry, Will, I didn't mean to talk over you, buddy, but here we go. Filling in for, go ahead, read it. You're a better reader than I am.
Okay, filling in for Governor Ventura on WATJ. And I want to know, if the United States could set one goal, a New Year's resolution for 2019, what would you want it to be? End the wars of aggression.
Read mine. Right there. It's right there.
Running for POTUS in 2020, but he must start now. Green Party is waiting for him to contact us.
Yes. Yes. That's cool. So what is it, Will, with this?
What? Oh, I was just sharing the tweet. I really like.
It's a good topic. Will, what would you want it to be?
Jesse, the preparation for Jesse Ventura to run in 2020 for president.
I'd like to.
Can I get a hell yeah? You know what I need? I need the 6-pack of Coors Lights to drink at the same time.
Well,
because Stone Cold said so. That's all I'm saying.
You know, he's going to be able to draw. I mean, seriously, draw from all these different groups. And what's going to happen is it's going to give a platform. It's going to give a way for people to actually come together and be about the same thing. If we all understand that, again, the corruption is the policies is what creates the parameters of our lives and shit like that, then we have to change those if we want to change everybody's shit. So, I mean, that's what I think the Green Party needs to be a little bit more inclusive with shit like that. You know, like they need you have to say you can come here. If it doesn't matter if you were a Trump supporter or this supporter, all it means is that you're tired of the bullshit and you want the truth. Because if somebody that says I want to know the truth, then you're going to you'll get there. That's it. If you want to know the truth, and then you have a platform, place to go to get the truth, time makes more converts than reason. You know?
So Graham Elwood liked a tweet that I was mentioned in.
Ooh. Oh, by the way, Graham and I are doing a show probably next week.
Oh, him and Deb Della Piana, right?
Yeah, Deb Della. What's her name?
Deb Della Piana.
She's awesome. She's pretty fucking badass.
So white. Okay, so Roger Waters, White Helmets is a deep rabbit hole. Something. Have you seen this?
Hey,
Okay.
Zoxalix. By the way, guys, I want to just go to the chat. It's not a super chat. I know that. We really need Stevie. She's kind of started the alliance thing. Yes, she has, and she's still going. I just want to know. Real quick. Chad, the Green Stampede, is that moving or yes or no? All right, good, awesome.
Whenever I know you're looking more into that, so if you can share whatever information you're coming up with, because I'm not really sure what I need to do in order to get like the ball rolling on this. Like if there's like forms I've got to? I don't know. Are there forms?
We
I
got
have
to
to?
sign off at the dotted line.
I'm more of an idea person, not a form person. Yeah.
I'm a forum person, and Chad, by the way, we need to get this website you created registered in the FCC or something like that. I don't know if it's
Yes.
the FCC or
Party
yeah.
Nation, buddy. Green Party Nation. It's awesome.
I can't wait to get
Okay.
the Green Stampede. And
Wait to see that. Yeah.
Redneck Rebellion.
Really. Did
I love the part where it's like we're all getting screwed. You know?
we're all getting screwed. We gotta hear it. Did everyone? By the way, natural progressive. I like the Redneck Rebellion. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, and she's on Uphill Media. I've caught her a couple of times on there. Usually when they come on, I'm at work. Unfortunately, but I'll catch her every once in a while I'm on break or something, or if I happen to have a day off, once in a blue moon. But she's so articulate on there and really has a lot of great information that she puts forward on there. Super, super smart and compassionate. Definitely check her channel out and catch her on Uphill Media.
She's huge.
So I'm wondering if I can play this Roger Waters interview.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Wonder. Come on.
Welcome to Sophie & Co. I'm Sophie Shevardnadze. 40 years on, the groundbreaking music of Pink Floyd still sounds fresh, and the lyrics of Roger Waters are as relevant as ever. How hard is the balancing act between music and politics? Well, I'm here in St. Petersburg to ask the legend himself, Roger Waters, musician, author, activist, co-founder of Pink Floyd, and my guest today. It's really great to have you with us today. Welcome to Russia.
Thank you.
Everyone's really happy that you're here, looking for your tour, and I'm looking for a little chat. So I'm going to start from the eternal question, because you've been pushing the boundaries of music forever. At the same time, the lyrics that you write are always very powerful. So the big question is, what is more powerful, the word or the music?
Well, the way that I work, they have equal importance. I mean, the trick with songs, and I'm never quite sure where it comes from, but it's to do with the way the feelings that are in the lyric of the songs and the ideas that are in the lyrics of the song somehow get kicked into a more accessible place by having to relate to the meter of the music. I don't know, it's a kind of magical thing. I feel a bit like I'm kind of pulling the wings off a butterfly even to talk about it, because it's sort of mysterious. Writing song, it's a sort of a mystery, how it happens or why it happens, where the connections are made between the heart and the soul and the brain and the intellect and the nature of if one is intellectually inquisitive about the world that one lives in and so on and so forth. It's just a way of, I don't know, being alive.
You get this question a lot in different forms, but I never really quite grasped an answer. For instance, If you go to a Paul McCartney concert, who's a great musician and a friend of yours, from what I gather, you forget about Syria and sanctions for one night. And you have that little space of 3 hours to think about love or heartbreak or, I don't know, family, friendship. You would never be okay with giving your audience or people just that. What is it about? Does music always have to be fused with a certain message, or else it makes less sense and it's not as important?
No, there's no has to or doesn't have to or anything. My father was dead, so I never really knew him at all. But my mother gave me a great gift when I was a child, and that was, she said that the only thing that was fundamentally important to her was to care for other human beings, to empathize with others. So, for instance, she was a school teacher. She had my brother and I to bring up on her own, and she was very political. So if she would go to a political meeting, often in the evening, she'd drag us along with her, and we'd sit there, and the British China Friendship Association or something. I'm saying this is specific.
James, this is Roger Waters, the lead singer of Pink Floyd. Since you were asking, or I think you were asking.
Is this related to?
No, Will, I know who he is and I know what he's standing for. But
We just wanna-
our goal, yes, I get it.
We just didn't know if it was something that was.
Will,
it
you're
tied into-
awesome. Thank you. I'll tell you.
Oh, it was a mere 3 minutes of it, anyways.
No, I'm just curious about if this had something to do with Jesse, or if this is.
Yeah,
just,
you've got two of us here, Will. You've got big time players here, buddy.
What are you even?
Well,
talking
I wanted to.
It's just we're us, and what I'm saying, I know it's stupid, but what I'm saying to Roger Waters, cool, awesome, and I like what he's saying. But here's the goal.
I think it's just an interesting thing to show. I just want to show.
Just go ahead and play the rest of it. Go ahead.
Oh no! I
was
wanted
just
to play
curious
that
if
bit.
that tied into like Jesse or the Green Party or what we were talking about. Or
What is
I wanted to play that little bit because Roger Waters was talking about how his mother helped him to have empathy for other human beings and such stuff. Things like that.
Which we can tie that
And
into.
he just
That's
stopped.
cool.
We can't
That's
tie that
cool,
into.
but what are we talking about right now?
Well,
Will?
that's what I'm saying. But we can tie that into Jesse's empathy, because that is something that we were talking about character-wise and their traits of certain different things to look for. And I'm actually kind of blown away. Like it's nice to hear. Because first of all, it's nice to hear people that really do care about people.
And I mean, he was talking about the issues with Syria as well.
Yeah,
That's something that Jesse talks
really
about.
important.
That's fine. That's fine.
No, I mean, so many people don't even understand why we're at war with Syria. We just accept it as norm, like, okay, well, we have a war with Syria now.
But does Roger?
Okay.
But does he know? Does he know why?
Well, he was explaining some stuff, but
He went ahead and finished the clip.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
oh, no, I just
didn't
wanted to
interrupt
play-
You. I know it was
I
I
meant
just wanted to
to.
play the
well,
beginning.
he meant to.
Sorry, Will.
He meant to, I know, but I just wanted to show you guys the beginning because he gets into that.
Let's
And,
go.
that-
Let's go.
Okay, can you
And I
please,
think the
can you post the link or send me the link so I can post it in the chat since we interrupted it?
Oh, you want to watch the entire
It was
interview?
me. It was me.
Let's stay on Jesse a little bit. If we're gonna play clips,
Yeah,
let's
I
play
wanna stay on
Jesse
Jesse.
talking. So that way, when people come on here, they're like, why are they talking about that? I mean, I'd like
upstate
to.
winner.
I'd like to actually compile a list of people to get involved.
Florida Governor banned
Here's the
fracking?
thing.
That's awesome.
I think it would be awesome.
No, wait, real quick. No, upstate. I gotta ask you a quick question. Florida governor banned fracking, like completely, or just push legislation for it?
That's crazy because Florida is just like
Purple.
Florida is West Virginia on crack.
Yes.
They just do whatever. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Upstate. Waiting for you. Robert Shaw. Bob, get in here.
Robert Shaw-
Could somebody bring Bob on, please?
I can't remember the last time I did a live stream with Bob. It has been forever.
And I miss that Bob.
Send him
Get in
send him the link.
Yeah, man. Get in here, commie. Let's do this.
Comrade, we're waiting for you,
You Russian
comrade.
bot, get in here.
Stalin forever.
Comrade.
My alarm ringtone.
I know. You gotta hear her fucking alarm. She wakes up. Da, 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 da,
Well, here's the thing,
it's
too.
Russian. It's the Russian.
The communist Russian, man.
Funny.
That's what I wake up to. Shutting down the means of production.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
here's something to go off that Pink Floyd stuff. I guarantee Jesse would be somebody that Roger Waters would support, and I'm sure he would probably let him play some Pink Floyd music. Imagine being able to get the licensing for that and to have that type of, because I mean I'm just trying to put it all together.
I just think the issues he was talking about, bombing Syria, you know, like John Bolton, he was about to get into John Bolton, and Netanyahu canceling Trump's troop withdrawal. And Abby Martin just recently did a video on how Trump's troop withdrawal is just a fraud, a hoax.
Well, I mean, to me, it's all a hoax, anyways. I mean, who knows? You're on mute.
Sorry. Well, real quick. So I knew. Okay. Anytime you move your pawns, which I call soldiers, in a particular position, it's for the favor of what? The king. Always. It's a chess move. So I'm not saying that Trump has the mental capacity to do that, but he's guided by something. He's been fucking, like, I'm sorry, the United States of America and the world, but these guys are manipulated easily. They're just spokespeople. They're just fucking salesmen that tell it to the world and what they want to say and what the world wants, and the 1%, the elite, the corporatists, and the corporations want. But besides that, when it comes to war, it's very simple. And I just posted this on my Facebook. It's all about profit, and everybody knows that. So who knows that more than anybody? Who has seen that happen? Who's been a part of that? A frogman, a governor who has been a part of that for a long. Sorry, getting back to it, Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, he's seen the corruption on all angles. He's seen what the corruption within politics. He's seen it within our military. He's seen it within our media. He's seen it on all sides. Oh my gosh, Natural, can you? Is there any way that you can send Natural an invite to? Is it posted publicly? I'd love to have you on. Oh my gosh, I've been dying to have a conversation.
Yeah, that'd be
with
cool. Everybody shut up. No, send it to. Just put it on the my. Where's she on? Is she on?
Hold on, I'll post it.
She's on my YouTube, right? Just put on the YouTube.
Hold on, where's
the link on the YouTube?
Yeah, let me get Facebook brought up. I don't know. Is it on here? Hold on. I'm putting it on there. I don't know if you want to do it now or not, but
Honey, copy it from the YouTube. From my channel.
Well, if it's on there,
Go down.
okay.
Right there. There it is.
Oh, well, let me just tell her that.
Yeah, just say it's right there on my YouTube. Natural. I'm on YouTube. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Zoxville.
Yeah, Natural. If you look in the description notes, you'll see. Hold on. you'll see the link to the show, and if you click on that, you can be able to join. You can have your camera on or not. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
I never wanted a camera ever. How long would you know what, guys? This is funny. So
You're the one that's always pushing for people to come on camera, though.
no, kind of. But when I first started, I didn't have a camera. I did, by the way, everybody, I had my blog talk radio show in 2013. And then I did that for a while until 2016. I had like maybe 60, 70 shows, not a lot. But I've never been on. And then one day I was on, and Eben was on, and Kelly had a few shows. And then I finally came on, and I know it was disappointing. When I came on, everybody's like, who the fuck is that moron? And I just talked my way out of it. Everybody decided to accept me, which I appreciate. Finally. Will, you look like you're piloting the Jupiter 2. Lost in Space.
You know who's
Oh, no, I'm just watching this.
I have totally been watching.
I'm watching this Jesse Ventura speech to see if I can play it or not.
You know,
play it,
there's a. You know who I'd like to see or hear their opinion about Jesse Ventura?
What's up?
I'd like to hear Caitlin Johnstone's opinion about it, about Jesse. Like what she would. I mean, why hasn't she even been on? Has she been on Jesse Ventura?
You son of a fucking.
I thought they were going to play some music, but I guess we kind of preempted it. But anyway, hello everybody, great to be here. I haven't given a political speech for quite some time now, but I felt that this was the occasion to come out of retirement. Now, first, let me say this, booing does not bother me. So, if I say something and you all start booing, remember, I take that as a sign of affection, having been a villain in wrestling. But it's terrific to be here, and a few of the things that I want to quickly talk about is, take your seats. Let's sit down and relax a little. You got a long day, people. A lot of speakers, and keep your enthusiasm up. But I'm here because let's remember something. I am not a Democrat, and I am not a Republican. And I say that very proudly today because I think these two parties are destroying our country.
Stop right there. Will, stop right there. This is good. Will, stop right there. Please, 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 please.
You're on mute.
Okay. This is huge. This is huge.
That's
okay.
A great fucking clip right there.
Yeah.
That's great fucking clip.
Perfect. He gets it.
And he's so slow about it. He's like,
for these fucking assholes that think they understand it, he knew it way before we did.
Play that shit. Play that shit again.
What year is this?
It's a very old clip. It's probably in the early 2010s.
Exactly.
Which is
Okay,
fine.
so was he running for? I mean, look, I'm not very familiar with this, the time frames here. So was he running at this point, or
No, he was. I think this is a rally for the Republic. That you had. Okay, so I think Cynthia McKinney, Ralph Nader, Ron Paul, a whole lot of people were here. This is a very old. Yeah, this was 2008. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. What the fuck were you doing, Will, in 2008?
I was doing my home. I was in the 7th grade.
Sorry, buddy. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
saying. Doing to hold a house, raising kids.
You're breaking up.
And you know what this guy had, we cannot at all, and everybody, I'm saying right now, we cannot think this man does not know what the fuck's going on. He knows way more than we could possibly imagine.
No, and here's the thing with Jesse, I'm always critical. Even with
I am
Ojeda.
too.
Even with Ojeda, when I was as enthusiastic as I was about him running, because he's from West Virginia, I was always critical of him, and that's why I can't support him. Even though he's from West Virginia, even though he says a lot of the things that I once said, at the end of the day, he still falls in line with the military-industrial complex.
He's all military, though.
And as long as we do that, we're never going to have a Green New Deal. We're never going to have Medicare for all. We're not going to have any of the things that we need, because all of the money is going to be sucked up like a vacuum by the military-industrial complex.
I know what he's doing.
And I get it. He's fought in these wars. He's had friends die in these wars. And he doesn't want to admit the fact that he fought these wars for nothing. It's really hard to admit that you fought a battle and laid some lives down for something, for nothing at all. I get how hard that is. But at the end of the day, he's representing me. He wants to represent us as a country. And at the end of the day, he needs to be able to back that up. And if he can't come to terms with the shit that he did overseas, and the shit that, not that he did, not that they did, but that the government made them do, that the government tricked them into doing. Because he signed up thinking that he was doing a service for America. He signed up thinking that he was fighting for freedom. And he wasn't. He got tricked. Just like a lot of people around here got tricked into doing the same thing.
I got tricked.
They got tricked into killing people for freedom. What was it? It comes down to money.
Always
Comes down to money.
And you know what?
That's why I can't stand by him. But Jesse knows. Jesse has already come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Jesse knows exactly what role he played and exactly what the government did to him and what they made him do. He's already come to terms with that.
And he's pissed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's not only is he pissed, but he's smart about it.
Yeah.
He knows exactly the right way to go.
He's very tactful.
Oh, wait. Real quick, Natural Progressive, she's been trying to join in.
Guys, come on.
Hold on. And she says that the meeting number is invalid. So I don't know who set this up, but whoever did, could you please? I just clicked on the link.
Is it in the YouTube?
Could somebody please send the link in the chat so that way she can join in?
It's in the Facebook chat.
Yeah. She's super smart. You gotta
super, like a lot smarter than I will.
William, do you wanna send it to her? It's in.
Well, I want to play this video. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because it adds to Stevie's point.
Go ahead. Play.
Here, I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. I'm doing it right now.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate you being with us.
Well, I wish we were talking under different circumstances, Rick.
So do I. You know what's weird? It seems like every time I turn on the television these days, I see a commercial or a PSA for veterans. And by the way, you can't turn on an NFL football game or baseball game or basketball game without seeing these veteran spots as well. So I have to ask myself, what's going on? Why is that perception that we're given all the time about how much we care about our veterans so different from the reality that I just explained a few minutes ago? Why is that
Well, I don't know really. I guess it's because many people wish they were veterans and aren't, because actually only about less than 1% of the population, I believe, is actually a veteran, counting by the numbers. But, you know, it's a thing like this. The thing that disturbs me the most is when the late John McCain found out in the defense bill that the NFL owners were actually being paid by our government to honor the veterans. Now, you know, that's as phony as you can possibly get. Paid patriotism. And so that's weighed on me over the last year after learning that. And it's difficult to be a veteran. It always has been. I'm a veteran of Vietnam, and I can assure you we were not welcomed home. In fact, the media and the powers to be, the politicians, convinced the country that we were the ones at fault, that we were the cause of us losing in Vietnam. So most of the veterans from my era, many of us, we waited a whole decade, almost 10 years, before we even admitted that we were veterans, because that's how bad it was back then at the end of the Vietnam War. And it's something I think that the country's been embarrassed over, so now they've gone overboard the other way. Now they've overcompensated thanking the veteran, because I can't tell you now, I get thanked all the time and I appreciate it, but let me state this, it's with a hollow appreciation, because what I know today I didn't know then when I was 18 and went in the Navy. But I was involved in a war that we were lied to get into. The Gulf of Tonkin incident was a lie. And then I learned it was a colonialization war. I'm totally opposed to colonialism. Yeah. And here I was supporting it when the Vietnamese were actually fighting for their freedom. So that weighs on me today, and I think it weighs on many veterans.
You know, it seems to me that most Americans are apt to be able to congratulate a veteran when they see them and find out what they are, but they know very little about their plight. For example, most Americans don't know that we're still fighting in Afghanistan, that we've been there for 17 years, where most of the money is going to. Most Americans couldn't give you what the mission is, what the objective is, you know, when we expect to even be out of there. But they know a lot about saying hello to veterans. Why that dysfunction?
Well, Rick, let me interject. We don't even know what we're there for now. We don't even know why we're still there and why the war goes on. What are we fighting? We don't even know what we're there for now.
Oh my God! Like, seriously, this is what's truly interesting about this interview, and I love Rick because he always plays the like super news reporter, which is, you look at him, I'm Rick and I'm, you know, whatever. But seriously, like super duper seriously.
So only 1 minute left. So
we have no reason to be anywhere. We have no reason to be anywhere.
I don't know.
We should use all of our money for where? Healthcare.
I mean, not just healthcare. I mean,
it's like the Iraq
money to do whatever it is we want to do.
Yes.
If we want to solve world hunger.
War, that was based.
The natural come on yet?
No, that's what I wanted to bring up. I'm not sure who's in charge of the Zoom or who started it or
what is happening, guys.
She said that she does Zoom a lot. She's on PC, but she's having trouble connecting, and I'm not sure what the problem is. So if we could send like the most updated version.
I know Chad's working on it. I know Chad's working on it.
Whoever's doing it, please, because she's very aware.
Well, there's only 4 of us.
So
there might be more.
She would have a great. She's a great voice to have on.
I just want to let everybody know I was in the Navy. I was in what's called Desert Storm. Desert Storm was a 90-day war.
I know that.
Yeah, I was. Listen. So Desert Storm was a 90-day war. So what happened is Kuwait was pissed off because they were being invaded. So they reached out, or actually the United States, well, I guess, contacted them at the same time in a few alliances, the English, whatever. So they were being bombarded by Iraq. Here's the funny thing. Newsweek, which is no longer in publication, Newsweek is gone. Newsweek used to be one of the greatest sources of information on the planet. They were just so spot on. Not politically, not biased. Why are you doing these cookies? Jesus Christ, woman.
I'm eating my cookies.
They're so good. So what happened is Iraq, or who is the president and prime minister of Iraq? The guy that hung. Anyway, they were drilling diagonally, not down. Saddam Hussein was. Thank you, babe. Was
he Iraq?
Yes, was not Bin Laden. Saddam Hussein was drilling diagonally underneath Kuwait. So Kuwait got pissed. So Kuwait was drilling so Kuwait was drilling diagonally per the instruction of the United States and the alliances of all the oil, big oil, or whatever. So Iraq got pissed. This is in Newsweek. And they got pissed and they went after Kuwait. And that's when the war started. And that's when our fleet came in on a 90-day war, exactly 90 days, and destroyed that border, those Iraqis to the Kuwaitis. It was like before we dropped like 20 or 30 huge, gigantic bombs.
What year was that?
92, 93.
I remember seeing that. My grandma had recorded something about Desert Storm on a video. I remember watching it and the bombs falling.
Babe, I was on the Carl Vincent. We were just screaming and yelling. Yeah! We were like totally into it. I was into it. Thank God I'm American. Well, at least I know I'm free. What? You were 5 when that happened? I feel like such a fucking rapist right now. God,
Okay,
yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, that's
that's bad.
Yeah.
But I wanna play this video.
I was 5 when that happened.
Well.
All right. No touching the. No.
All right. Stay back on. Talk about Jesse Ventura.
Lies.
Change conversation.
Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura.
Okay, Jesse. What do you think, Jesse Ventura?
Rainbow boom.
Now I was trying to get progressive in, but.
Please be quiet.
You gonna play more of this?
Destruction ties to Al Qaeda. They prove to be false and untrue.
So does that affect the veteran?
Me the most.
Yeah, does that affect the veteran? Does he know that? Does she know that? Does she know that I'm fighting, but I'm not quite sure what the cause is? Right?
It does me. It does me. I can only speak for myself, and it affects me as a veteran. It makes me feel shallow. It makes me, when somebody calls me a hero, I like to say I'm not a hero, because a hero saves lives. A hero doesn't take them. Yes, I took an oath, I did my job, and I did it to the best of my ability, but that doesn't make me a hero necessarily, because in my book, you save lives, you don't take them.
Jesse Ventura, former governor of Minnesota, thanks so much for being with us, sir. We appreciate both your service and your time with us here today. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't get in. I just sent you in the chat the thing again if you want to. Actually, I'm gonna copy the whole invite. Copy invitation. There we go. So.
All right. So. Okay. So we're trying to get natural progressive on, and I apologize. I don't know what's going on. It was Chad, anybody? Warning, danger, Will Robinson.
I can hear you.
Hey, copy it all. Go from the bottom, from the bottom, from the bottom.
From the bottom, from the bottom. Okay.
No, you're doing it wrong. I already.
Oh my God, I did it from the top down.
That's what she said.
Okay, can I play the video?
See,
Can
well,
I-
I press the whole thing.
No, not the whole thing, babe.
I
Oh my
did
God.
it from the bottom, and it didn't work. So
No,
look.
just the bottom part.
Oh my God, you keep talking. I can't think.
Can I-
Not think.
Oh,
Please
oh.
stop. Shh. Shh.
Schultz
We're
wants.
one thing at a time. If this doesn't work, then we'll try the other part.
Can I share this video while you guys figure this out?
Oh, please.
While we continue to argue,
I'm muting us.
And let me for a moment say at what stage they're destroying our country. It is called the national debt. We are now over $9 trillion in debt. And who is responsible for this $9 trillion debt? The Democrats and the Republicans are responsible. And what solution are they offering? None. Nothing. You don't hear one word in these debates about the debt. Why? Because they're equally responsible and it's indefensible. It is indefensible. Imagine, if you would, for a moment, a baby born today. A baby born today, September the 2nd, 2008, before it takes its first breath of air, is already $30,000 in debt. $30,000. Now, imagine that baby can't even get a job for 15 years to start working that debt off, can they? So what will that, at the rate we're going, what will that $30,000 debt be to that child by the time that child reaches, say, age 15? Who knows at the rate we're going? And we have to start fighting back. It's that simple. And the way you fight back is coming to conventions like this and voting your heart and your conscience. Remember something, if you will, about voting. Voting is not a horse race. You're not going there, gee, I gotta pick the winner, so I can brag to my friends that, oh, I picked so-and-so and he or she won. Voting is voting your heart and voting your conscience. And when you do that, don't ever, ever let a Democrat or Republican tell you you've wasted your vote. In fact, the fact is, if you don't vote your heart and conscience, then you have wasted your vote.
That's a great clip there too. That's a great fucking clip there too. Hello, hello.
So we have her on, I guess. So enlighten us.
Bob
We
and
got Bob and Natural Progressive.
oh my God, I'm so excited. It's been so long
And
since
I
I've
just
done.
can't hide it.
Is her
It's
thing
just-
frozen? I think
it's-
because she was posing there for a second. There you are.
What happened?
You were like this.
I'm glad to see you on here.
You were posing. You were
Oh,
posing.
Bob went away.
He'll come back. There he is.
How you been doing?
Oh, good. I was wondering how you were surviving, Stevie.
Much better, much better. Coming to terms with things.
We was worried about you. You had a lot of people worried about you.
I was in full Batman mode, and I wanted to, like, you know, justice some people, but I'm in a place where I'm letting it go. Letting it go.
Good. That's what you have to do to get through things. I've been through
It's a
that.
matter of karma. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
all right.
And you're building a lot of good karma, James.
I hope so. I'm trying
There you go. Look at her. She's like,
oh God.
Yours looks different than mine. That's weird.
Are y'all drinking?
Yeah, we're all drinking Coors,
Utah.
baby.
Silver bullet. Only mine is way weaker than yours, I
Oh,
guarantee.
man.
So
He
natural.
tries to feed me this Bud Light stuff, but I'll drink it. I'm
I didn't
cool.
know what you drank. Okay.
Honey, it's all right.
I did.
In the Mormon state.
I
You
am.
know what, though? So Bob drinks. I gotta tell you guys this. Bob drinks the connoisseur of alcohol. He has like a different lager or whatever every time. What are you drinking tonight, Bob?
I think
Where
from
is
what I
Bob?
remember, he's more of a smoker.
No,
No.
I got Revolution,
Oh,
Antihero,
nice.
What's it called?
Antihero.
It's
That's
a
a
beer,
new one.
right?
It's a pale ale. Yeah.
Yeah, IPA. Yeah.
Micro.
It's an IP.
micro
So he
brewery.
does every time he comes, he's got something different. Tell me
Wait,
that
what's an IPA?
India Pale
Pale-
Ale.
India pale. Yeah. I knew it was a pale ale. I never know.
Something
I
pale
is.
ale. Okay.
Everyone says
There-
IPA.
It was originally the British made it like really hoppy and very strong, so it would survive the trip to India, like on sailing ships.
Oh, okay.
So it's like really high in alcohol, so it wouldn't spoil.
Hey, that's
Look at you knowing the history
Informing.
of the alcohol.
That's awesome, Bob.
Oh yeah, no, I
No,
was
it's
just,
like it's like
I
so
was just
regular
drinking.
beer is like 4-6%, like pale ale is like 8 to 12%.
okay. Why does Bob look like Bo of the Fifth Column? Just curious.
Cool, man. That's cool.
Howdy, internet people.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Howdy,
Don't-
internet
Don't
people.
tell anybody.
So a natural progressive, can you tell us what you think
a
about the
beautiful
Jesse
car.
Ventura thing?
You know, I love Jesse Ventura. I'm a huge fan. I am. Also, I like Bernie Sanders. He's the one that
Oh,
really
yeah. I
opened
do
my
too.
eyes. The thing is, I'm afraid that any progressive is going to get cheated. That's my big issue.
Yeah.
So we've got to have a plan, like seriously, a plan. And like the yellow vests, not exactly the yellow vest, but like the yellow vests, we've got to really push like together, all sides. I don't care if you're libertarian, Democrat. I think we have the best chance with libertarian and progressives working together for to push the referendum, the national referendums that we can vote on as people, and revocations, which means you can vote against a politician and get them out of office if they're not supporting you.
What do you think about having none of the above as an option on your ballot?
That would be not bad. I mean, definitely. I think you kind of already have that option. You just don't select it and it doesn't get counted. I did that this election. When I only had a choice between a Republican and a Republican, I didn't mark any of them. I just didn't. So that's
Yeah,
kind of like none of the above.
Are you
I live in a
concerned though?
really Republican area. I did the same thing. Just don't vote for him.
Yeah.
Vote,
Yep.
but that's all
Yep.
you can do.
Are you not concerned though when it comes to Bernie that he's obviously not speaking out about the real root issue, which is the corruption, and he doesn't really talk about the cheating. Like,
Yeah. Oh no, I am concerned about that.
Well,
don't ever get me wrong about that. I don't think he
do
stood
you,
out about
do
the
you-
election fraud like he should have. He knows it happened.
But see, I guess my thing is it goes back to, we know what he does in the face of it. Like he rolls over, and And for me, the way I see it is the Democrats are using AOC and they're using Bernie as a protective shield from people actually coming with the pitchforks towards the Democratic Party and what's going on, because they're like, oh no, look, they're getting through. Oh, we're really fighting. And I think it's more of a distraction, and even the whole thing with her dancing, I think all that stuff is on purpose.
It's definitely a distraction. It definitely.
She froze up.
Uh-oh.
Did we freeze up?
Are we froze up, or is it
No,
just
I can hear.
Chris?
I'm good.
All right, let me
your
just say
connection.
something that's important here. Okay, this is important. If you don't mind, thank you. She gave me the finger already. Whoever
Go ahead, not that one.
All right, but whoever you vote for, make sure they represent you.
Okay, that's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to talk about how adorable Ava is. But
No, it was fucking good. No, I already said that. What did I say? What did I say? I said I held her. I touched her. I already fucking hung out with her. She's awesome.
Who's
Ava? I missed out on the.
How big she is.
I keep getting cut off for some reason. Oh, you're talking about the girl. Oh.
Oh,
No, I remember when she was just born, and like, look how big she is already.
She is cute. There's no.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's no argument there.
But Chad, she laid on me for like 5 seconds.
And that was
5
it.
seconds.
That was it. That was it.
That was it.
Aw.
That's all she gave me.
Yeah, she'll be one.
I counted.
She'll be one in 2 weeks.
2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4, and then I want daddy. There she goes.
Yep.
Right.
I'm being such a mom right now. I'm telling you, my sister's daughter, she's 3 years old. She gave me a fake baby and told me to hold her. She wanted me to babysit. And I'm sitting there and I'm holding her, and all of a sudden I didn't even realize I'm starting to rock
You're
her.
doing the mama bounce and rock.
I'm rocking a fake baby. I'm like, what am I doing? Just get this baby out of here. Come on, get.
And she put the baby on her nipple too.
Oh my God, you're too much.
Oh.
I need to check out for a bit. I think you'll do fine without me. But
Bye, Pounds.
Goodbye.
Bye. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet baby.
No, baby's not leaving.
Oh, the baby's not. Who's leaving then? Wait.
William. Mr. Pounds.
Oh. But the baby's
I
gone.
That's Chad.
Okay.
Yeah, she's.
Sorry, I don't know anybody really.
She's going to bed. That's okay.
Y'all didn't do any formal
no big deal.
introduction. I'm Chris, the natural progressive on YouTube, Twitter, but yeah, Chris. You can all call me Chris.
Chris.
So
That
yeah,
works.
you don't have to call me the natural progressive. That's just dumb.
I feel like a natural progressive.
Oh my God, Lisa Hardman.
Natural, or if you were comfortable like saying your real name or what it was. So.
But don't say nipple.
Just don't do my whole name. I'm okay with Chris. That's such a common name. It's not like.
I want to call it natural. You're
I like. Well,
you're natural. That's cool, man.
I am on natural
like
again.
natural.
I was in bed, so no makeup. So I was like in bed watching on my phone with my earphones in because my husband was sleeping, and like, damn it.
Who would you pick
Look at Bob's.
who would you think as a running mate though? Like, what? Who are you? I mean, who are you interested in? Anybody else?
What is going on with that beard? It's awesome.
Thank you.
It is a nice beard.
Good.
I appreciate
Jimmy's
it.
doing the whole mustache thing right now.
Put one foot in front of the other.
It's an okay beard. It's okay.
It's okay.
No, you look
There's
good.
2 awesome
That's like
beards on the show right now.
it's full mountain man. Yeah.
What is it about the beard? So Chad's got a beard, Bob's got a beard. I just got a mustard. What is
You
that?
get a mustard.
A mustard?
Oh,
I live.
I'd be
I
like
live
the Rico Suave thing. What the fuck?
That's
is
because you wear tuxedos all the time.
It
I
needs
want
a
to like
goatee at least.
I want a Kris Kringle. I want to go full Kris Kringle.
No,
Do it.
just do the goatee. You'd look good in a goatee.
I'm telling you, get you some.
I might look like Iron Man. Who knows?
Oh, you
Well,
got wine.
Chad, where do you live?
In Tennessee.
Okay, I live in northern Illinois. This is thermal protection.
Jonathan,
That's all
right.
this is. This is to protect me from the minus 20 degrees.
I was just busting your chops. I'm not giving you a hard. It's a nice beard. It's a nice beard you did. I was making a joke because I have a
It's
beard
fully
too.
utilitarian. I'm telling you, it's all.
Keep your face warm.
It's everything.
You would be
Just so everybody knows, I'm the one typing, not Jimmy.
Let's get some long arms.
Okay,
I'm the one that has the typing experience. Okay, I type like 85 words.
So you were saying hi for Mana Talk on there. James, is it James, correct?
Thank you for that.
James. That's James.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I really like to know people's names who I'm talking to.
Yeah, I'm Chad.
James Manitou.
Chad,
No,
okay.
James or Jim or Jimmy or Jimbo. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All on a first name basis here. We don't have to. Yeah.
No formalities.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you can call me when my mom calls me. Hey, you fuck! What the fuck are you doing right now? Watch the.
Okay, gonna go there. My family calls me Ducky. Like
Ducky?
Ducky. That's my name growing up was Ducky. Everyone
Ducky.
called me Ducky.
Really? Oh, that's so cute.
It's not cute, no.
It makes me think of
Mine was Honeybud.
the guy from NCIS.
Now that's cute.
But I think she's Princess Buttercup.
There you go. The one you do anything for, right? As you wish.
Here, I'll be right back.
Wasn't that it? As you wish.
As you wish, yeah.
So Chris, what do you feel like? What do you think the biggest hurdle would be for a Jesse Ventura campaign? You know, because Tulsi Gabbard.
The establishment is
Yeah,
going to be the biggest. The media.
As much as,
Exactly.
dude, I would love it. I would love it,
Very
but it's just
mandatory.
it can't happen. It can't.
Yes.
It won't here. There's too many people. Like my mother-in-law. Like back, like the last election, my mother-in-law was. She loved Bernie Sanders. She lived in Florida. She said she wouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders. She's like, I love Bernie Sanders. I'd vote for him, but nobody else is going to vote for him, so I can't. And I guarantee you, there's so many people that are like that.
I
Like,
know
they would
how many
lo- they would
people
love-
went like this after the primary when he was so
Right.
close. It's like, oh my God, he actually could have won, and he pulled better against Trump. So, whatever.
Well, it's just people been so brainwashed to the fact that they can only vote for a Republican
But-
or a Democrat.
but don't-
Otherwise, their vote's not going to matter. So
No.
but don't you?
until that
Seriously,
changes,
Bob, that is exactly the problem that I'm coming up against here. Is the
Yeah.
fact that
it's everywhere.
people, not just here, but all across America, we have been brainwashed into this either or mentality. Like we have to pick A or B, this
that's-
or that.
That's my
It's
that's my
not,
biggest
that's
like.
not how things work. That's not how our world is created. That's not the natural flow of
But-
things.
See,
Well, everyone
There's
that like
always an
hero.
alternative, but
Yeah,
we're programmed. We've been taught to believe that there is either this thing or that thing, and it's either Democrat or Republican. You know,
See,
brand
that's my,
A or brand B.
as much as I love the founding fathers and everything, and as much as I hate them, like that was the one thing that I don't understand is why they picked, why did they choose for us to be a republic? Everything else at that point had been like, if we were a parliamentary style of government, like we would have taken over by now. Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole,
I
they
was-
fucked us. Like everybody like heroizes the founding fathers, and I really think they screwed us by making it a republic, a representative government, not like a parliamentary, like almost direct government.
well,
Oh,
Very,
yeah.
very, very localized.
Well,
You know,
well, but
that's the
I
whole
mean,
thing
he-
with Parliament.
See,
there's hundreds of members of parliament, like hundreds and hundreds, like more than the House of Representatives.
we'll see.
Because
We
they have
should
like
actually have more
because they have
representatives than we have. That's the thing.
Yeah, they
it
screwed
should
us
have
on
been
that, didn't they? Yeah.
smaller districts, and we should have like thousands of people in the House, and we don't.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
we need
So
to
we're
direct.
not getting the representative government that we should have had in the first place, from what the founders intended.
Well, they never I don't think
But
they
they
ever
didn't-
they never realized that this country would have millions of people.
Well,
there.
yeah. How can you foresee that back in the day?
Right,
You know,
yeah.
it was so small. But then
Yeah.
there's also the section that wanted to give the big landowners more power.
Well, yeah, yeah.
so
well,
there's
you
that.
had
That's
both,
why we have
you,
the
you
like
always had
girls.
both sides. You always had the left and the right. There was always a
Mhm.
faction of diversity, one way or the other. Like
Well,
to certain extremes at certain
but
points.
see, but with the internet now we have technology. We should be able to streamline a lot of these things. It's not only that, because the whole thing is social media is allowing us to look at shit, and yes, we're kind of young in the whole
Yeah, but
system.
it also makes
Some people
like,
are young.
You got to realize, like, dude, a lot of the people in the world today are still like fucking like. Not that I'm not saying anybody here is old. There's still
I am old. though.
But there's still old people like in the world. Like my parents are still alive. Like they have no idea about like what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? Like so.
Right.
like,
Well,
there's still
but the point is it's not we know that people aren't on board. We know that we're not utilizing the internet the way we should. We know that we're not doing it. But the point is that we
I'm
can.
kind of happy. Like I see like some crazy like really left wing posts coming out of like friends on Facebook, like distant friends that I never would have thought I've seen. Would have seen these things. Like I got hope. I think people are turning. Like.
Well, the more and more, the shit reveals itself because it's over time. Because time makes more converts than reason. That's what the guy said. A long time of not thinking the thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right, and will raise at first a formidable outcry in the defense of custom. So to me, I mean that's why I look at it as a positive thing, even though it's negative in the way that it reveals everything. But people are working through it. Now people are tired. You're tired of fighting, and eventually you're going to get to be like, why are we fighting again? And then that's where it goes back to Bernie. Is like that's why I could never vote, because he is complicit in it now. He could say whatever he wants, but his actions he do not
Dude,
represent.
Wait, if it were between Bernie Sanders and Trump,
But see,
you
look,
would vote nobody.
it's not between. I wouldn't vote. I wouldn't vote for Bernie. What do you think's going to happen when Bernie gets in? First of all, Bernie's not going to get in. We know
Well,
how
we
that
already
works.
know that, so
But
I'm not worried about that.
second
But
off,
if you had that
even if he did,
Hypothetical.
but look, here's the thing.
hypothetically,
He had the
if you
chance.
had a ballot in front of you.
He had
Bernie
the
Sanders or
chance.
Trump.
He had the chance to change the course of American history, and he knew. See, here's the thing. I think
Yes,
he knew
he
that
did.
they cheated the whole time. I
And
think
he
knew.
got
from-
his ass kicked. Did you see him at the DNC convention when he had that big ass bruise on his cheek?
Oh, I don't know about
and
that.
he was crying. It was freaking horrible. I think
he was
they beat
crying,
him
dude.
down.
He was
I
upset.
I think he knew. I think he knew from the beginning, even before he ran, that he was going to have that Hillary was going to get it because of the way it went. So I think the whole time, because he's ushering people in to pay money under
that's
the corrupt. So if you say I support, let me finish. If you say I support the corrupt system, I'm okay with these people stealing your money, corrupt, not doing anything, and I'm just going to talk about one thing that we would get if we actually had represented, because universal health care, Medicare for all, that's just one of the things we need, and we would have that if the corruption was taken out. So for me, you're the biggest moment in history. You're here and you say, no, I'm not going to do it, because
understand.
your threshold is Hillary
I understand what
Clinton.
you're saying.
I don't know.
And I get your pain because I feel that pain. I totally get it.
But so
and I'm not going to latch on to any candidate at this point because of what happened with that.
But what I'm saying is, like, how could you blame anybody for the way they criticize Obama or the way they criticize Hillary or anybody, because Sanders is worse than all, because he said something, he lied, and he's blocking and he's protecting the corrupt. That's what he's doing. He's saying, no, don't do this because we have to fight Trump. But he's not acknowledging that the only reason we have Trump is because the Pied Piper, is because of the media craziness. So that's the thing. It's like,
I don't think he's worse than all of them. I do.
Absolutely, because look at what he built up, and then he crushed it because he did not believe in it. He said, no, fuck it.
Chad,
Yeah, sorry.
please let Chris finish.
Sorry.
I know you're passionate. I feel your pain.
I got you. Sorry, I'm not trying to be.
As well, so let her finish her thought.
Go ahead, good. Thank you.
I'm going to step out for a couple of minutes, please. Please allow each other to finish their thoughts.
Got you.
I'll be right back.
Sorry about that. I get.
No, I get that way too sometimes. I totally understand.
Chad is so passionate, and he.
And I'm not yelling at you, so I'm yelling at Bernie.
I appreciate that. I really
just wait your turn, okay?
I really love the passion, by the way, and I really feel the same anxiety, the same anger that you feel with what Bernie Sanders did. I don't think there's anyone who could have been more angry than I was when he didn't stand up to the election fraud, when he didn't stand up to Hillary Clinton's corruption and call it out. I don't think anyone could have been more angry than me. So you're probably as angry as I am about what happened there. At the same time, I think there's probably something going on that we're not privy to, and he's old school, so he thinks that he has to play to the DNC.
He's playing the game
before he can have the power to do what he wants to do. But his history, his background, his record shows that he was in the right mindset, which not many people have that long of a record that goes back as far as his does, when he was in his 20s fighting for the rights of the people. So there's that I consider. So if I was between Trump and Bernie, I would definitely vote for Bernie. But if it was between Hillary Clinton and Trump, no. Warren and Trump, no.
That's the perfect example. Okay, of course, voting for the lesser of two evils is totally the wrong way to do it. Voting for either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer. Neither.
You have to. The only way that we can get back to where
is by shift. You guys are familiar with the Overton window, right?
Yes.
How politics.
Mm-hmm. And it's been shifting to the right.
The new left is now the old. Basically like Obama said he was a
moderate Republican from 80s.
20 years ago. So. Anything that'll move the Overton window left, like people with progressive views, like I'm all for, voting for them. No question. Anything that'll move us left. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Push left, constantly push left.
But see, that's the thing is, I feel like it's incrementalism, and I think thinking to say we just need to get somebody's like that is why we don't get further. And saying, hey, if you put your to me it's hypocrisy to think that you would be okay because he's supporting the corruption. If you are saying I'm condoning it, because that's what he's doing. He's condoning it. He's allowing it to happen. He's playing the game, the corrupt game, which makes him just as corrupt. If you're playing that game, if you're caught in that two-party system, that means you are not further along. That means that you are saying,
I don't hold him as much responsible as I do Hillary Clinton. Yes, I'm very angry that he didn't stand up to it. I think he has a screwed up thing in his head. He should have went and ran independent and brought all of his followers with him, because they would have respected him a hell of a lot more. I think that was what he needed to do. He didn't do it. He missed that opportunity. And at this point, all we have to do, we can't, like, politicians aren't going to save us at this point. So it's no use even arguing about that. What we need to do is get a coalition together of every person to spread exactly the same message, which is to have a national referendum so we, the people, can decide what our policies are. Every year we vote on policy, and we override the politicians that are supposedly representing us but are not.
You know,
so
I don't know. I mean, I agree with you there. You know what I mean? Like, we have to, you know, build a coalition and work. The thing is the problem is nobody respects the other. If you play the two-party system, both sides don't respect each other, because what they do is they protect their own. And that's the way the whole system's set up. It says, okay, let's protect our own because we got to fight everybody else. And if everybody actually said,
I want to leave parties out of it.
well, but it's not. But here's the thing: is if you're running under a party banner and the party is doing this dirt, and here's the thing: the Democratic Party is the corporation, the way they run it. You're not going to change the way it's because it's owned. I think Bernie knew that Hillary Clinton bought the debt. I think he knew from the beginning that he wasn't going to win no matter what, and that he, for some reason, maybe he got a wild hair up his ass to think that maybe he could overturn it. But I think he knew it from the beginning.
Maybe he thought he could change the conversation.
And
get people thinking and start a revolution. And he's always said that.
But it's fraud.
Not about me.
It's fraud.
It's not about me, he said. It's
but that's
and if I ever tell you who to vote for, don't. He said that.
Exactly. So that's my point, to say that he knew it the whole time. Which what he did is he lied and made people believe, and Usher. So that's even worse. You're making people believe that this is you're going to put your heart and soul into something, and then you crush. That to me, that's worse, because at least the devil, you know, is you're not believing in something. Because we do need leaders. It's not about the man, but it's about the leader doing what he says he's going to do. That's the thing about Jesse, is he's like, you can't have integrity and say I'm going to go under this Democratic banner if it's corrupt. And the same thing with the Republican. You can't.
Jesse, if he is there, if he ends up being the candidate, or if he runs independent, I will vote for him. I'm telling you that. Especially against.
If it was Bernie and Jesse and Trump, I would vote for Bernie.
I just think we need to demand more. Bernie, if Bernie doesn't, but think about that. If Bernie doesn't understand that basic concept.
I don't think we're going to have that option, though. I honestly don't think we're going to have that option.
I mean, well, but all of them. I mean, all of them. Even, I mean, I know Tulsi. She said stuff against. She's a little bit more pro-war, but she spoke out about the corruption. But again, none of them are really speaking about it, and in the way that needs to be done. Because most of these people, people need to.
If they want, you gotta realize, dude, like they have to, like, if they want certain media coverage that they need, this is like.
But Bernie did his thing, mostly social media. The blackout is what made people understand that what was happening. So the whole point is social media can do it all of it. It's about knowing.
For our generation.
Good.
Like, dude, right now, I don't think so. Like, dude, you still need news coverage. Dude, like, Bernie Sanders was never on fucking TV. The only time I ever heard of Bernie Sanders was on fucking listening to Tom Hartman. Like, he was just some fucking senator from Vermont who, like, I honestly, when I first heard him, I was like, this guy's fucking nuts.
I didn't
this
know
shit's
about
never gonna happen. Nobody's gonna listen to this guy. I love this shit. It sounds great to me, but nobody's gonna listen to him. This is like, like in 2008, I heard, he was on Tom Hartman, like on Tuesdays, he'd call in, and I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, dude, he's like 70-something years old. Like, he's
so why would you even think then? You just made the point. Yeah. Why would you think that he would be anything he's not a.
Dude, he tried.
He's worse.
He tried for 50 years to be independent, like, and get somewhere.
He is with the Democrats through and through. See, he
caucuses with them, but who else is he caucus with by himself?
But think about it. Is he not covering up? Is he not covering up the crimes? Is he not covering up? Okay.
Yes.
So
I agree with you.
so
100%.
so
yes.
why would he cover up the crimes if he's not in on it? If that makes him an accomplice, and why is it okay to support that accomplice, but not for like Hillary Clinton? Like, to me, that's what blows my mind about the progressive. It's like all of a sudden people are like back to Bernie. It's like Bernie totally sold everybody out. It's like it's like the abuse.
Is like why people argue against like communism. I mean, they're like, well, you like your iPhone, don't you? I mean,
I know.
Like
or
he
you
lives
have a
in this
big
society.
house.
He operates.
You
in
have
this,
an
in the-
expensive coat. That's stupid argument. Oh my God, he's just trying to get to a point where he can make a difference. That's what he's.
Who are you talking about, Bernie
that's
Sanders?
My idea. Yes. he's
All Bernie
trying to
Sanders has to do,
through
all he
the
has to do is
bullshit.
actually speak up and say what needs to be said.
But he would be
And the CIA
nixed
will
from the
kill him
party
and you'll
for
never
one.
hear from him again.
Okay, so who cares? That's the whole thing. Why are you trying to be a part of a party that's corrupt and that does dirty? See, that's the thing. It's like why are you trying to hold on to something?
Because there's two parties, and that's the party.
No,
that's
there's two parties.
Change.
But see, there you go. That's the
I
mentality
want to see
that
him run independent.
if you vote for somebody that plays the two-party game, you're always going to get the two-party game, and we're never going to get what we want. We're never going to get what we want. No, we're never going to get what we want. We're never going to get. Good.
Because they'll cheat him. Not because he wouldn't get the votes, but because they will cheat him.
I'm talking about the big picture.
And in the major election,
Let's call
I
it,
don't know.
Let's call it now. Who's going to be the Democratic nominee for 2020? Come on. We can call it.
No,
We're good.
but you see what I'm saying? If you play the
It's
two-party
probably gonna be
politics,
Biden or Harris.
If-
God,
probably.
if it's Biden, dude, if it's either of those, I'll be like 100% Green Party then. That's fine.
Oh, I would
At
too.
that point,
I'd be out.
No,
I can't believe you
I
guys
swear to God,
still think.
If they get screwed over one more time,
All
I'm
right.
fucking out.
I know it's going to
That's it.
happen. They're already starting it. They're already starting the smears
Well,
on everybody.
they never
and
stopped.
They're
That's-
ahead of it.
That's what. See, that's the cognitive dissonance. Like, to me, I've already gotten to that point to where they've shown how they operate, and it's pretty clear. And
Dude,
it's clear
Chad,
that when you don't see
you even said
what
you went from like you voted for Bush. I never voted for anybody. I voted for fucking Nader,
I
Obama,
voted for Perot.
Obama, and
Obama
then
once.
I voted for
Joe
when I was 18. The
And
first
Joe Stein.
the first thing I was I didn't know anything better. You vote Republican in Tennessee.
No, I just think it's wild how far you've turned further than me. Like, which is crazy to me.
I
That's
was
crazy.
raised Republican, by the way, in case you didn't know. I was raised like a Reagan Republican person from hell.
I live in,
I was go Republicans. Republicans were great until I learned more. Until I grew
live in
up.
Collier County of Chicago, which is like, historically heavily Republican. To like, go.
I'm in
against
Utah,
Cook County.
in case you didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Like we voted against FDR and Kennedy and shit.
Oh
That
wow.
Republican.
Mm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
Utah was Democratic back then, so they changed.
Well, I'm in Arizona. Barry Goldwater, John McCain, baby.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I see
Dan
it.
Brewer, Joe Arpaio.
If you got to pick one side, think about it. Like that's why we don't get anywhere, is because you have to support your corruption to fight against the people that you think are the less evil. So
I'm not focusing on that. I'm not focusing on a candidate at all.
Well, no, but what but you have to understand how people think and how the thought process that goes through. It's a two-party system.
Wait.
So people, go ahead.
Bob's trying to talk. Come on.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
wow.
let's say we can get a Democrat in that will pass laws that will include ranked choice voting and stuff. That's the only way that you're gonna get to what you want to get to. You're gonna have
Utah's
to
doing
allow
a
somebody. You're gonna have to give somebody the kudos to allow them to run in our two-party system under some other kind of banner,
So
and
you-
not like totally shit on them
Utah's
like right away
trying-
just because they're
third part
Yeah, go
or
for
the ranked choice voting. We're doing an experiment in cities that opt into it on ranked choice voting, and I thought that was a really great thing. Utah is actually a big third party state. A lot of people vote third party. Unfortunately, they're the crappy third parties, but still, more choices is always better, I guess. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
better than nothing.
Go ahead, Chad.
No. I'm just,
Rip it up.
I'm listening. You know, I'm past that. The two-party system. That's it for me. If you have to, like a Super Bowl, you got to pick a team. Even if your team's not in the, you have to pick one, or you gotta root against. And there's the thing: is you root against the other team. So as long as we think like that and we vote like that and we play in that party. That's the way it works. Because all it takes, first of all, only half the country votes that's eligible to vote. So then you got.
You're preaching to the choir.
Well, but see, I'm preaching to the choir,
exactly.
but you still feel like it's necessary to vote for the Democratic Party until you say the two-party system. You have to break the two-party system, which is when you have a third option. But that's the thing. Until that gets there, we're going to keep fighting because that's what the establishment does. It says left, right, and it says they blanket all the issues and says you have to pick one or the other, pick a side, and then they go. That's why as long as you keep voting this way,
I voted Green Party because for one, Jill Stein had the same platform that I wanted, that I was sold on through Bernie, and for two, if she would have got 10% polling, 5% polling, then she would have been invited to the debates and bring that conversation in.
Right.
It would have drug everybody to the left. So my argument was during the after the primary when Hillary freaking cheated and was the winner of the primary. I was arguing against everybody from people, the write-in Bernie crowd, to the, oh my God, we got to vote for Hillary because, oh my God, Trump. And then you're fighting against it. It's like Jill Stein will never win. It's like, it's not the point if she won't win. It's the point of getting a third party.
She won't win. Right.
It didn't matter that she wouldn't win. It's like getting that percentage up so they'd be in the debates. So they would become a legitimate party.
Right.
And I fought for that. So you are totally preaching to the choir here. Totally. Absolutely.
And I think because of that, because of the way 2016 went, there is going to be more people looking towards another option. So I think
I thought that for 2016, but I was wrong.
Well, but remember, 2016 was a whole new eye opener. I mean, it woke me up in different ways. And that's the thing, as I can acknowledge about Bernie Sanders, waking people up, regardless. I mean, he may have meant to, and I get it. I get it. He's playing the establishment however he wants to. He's playing the game. I don't respect that because at this time, in where we're at, is it takes someone to stand up, in the face of that shit. Period. And if you're not going to stand up, then I'm wasting my time because all you're saying is okay. Just let him hurt you a little bit more, so this guy doesn't hurt you too. You know what I mean? It's
That's why we don't. That's why, okay, who you're going to vote for in the general is another thing, and whatever happens in the primary is fine. We can push for who we want in the primary.
Right.
I just don't trust the election system at all, period. And I don't think any progressive, I think it's going to be an establishment who wins the primary. And I think it's going to
quasi, progressive kind of person,
Yeah, someone who claims to be progressive but isn't.
Like
and
Chris,
so,
like Gillibrand or Booker or something like that. Yeah.
We need a plan B. We're not going to, our future doesn't ride on who's going to be elected president next. Our future rides on the people rising up, like the Yellow Vest movement. We have to tweak it a little bit for the U.S. because we are a different country. But
we got guns.
But see, that's the thing.
Actually,
you have to be able to acknowledge that the system and how it operates, how it works, and the way that they divvy money, the way that they do contracts, the way that hold on, the way that they this is why it doesn't work. This is why it doesn't work is because the right If the left wanted to join with the right, all they have to do is give up Hillary Clinton, give up Obama for the war crime, give up that, and it would set off a motion and actually make the right respect, because there are certain areas that's the whole thing about a lot of the Bernie crowd that went.
Neoliberals like money too.
See what?
I said neoliberals like money too.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be rich people also.
Yeah, they do.
So that's they like gay people and they're okay with smoking weed and shit, but you know, that's about it.
They're all the same. All the same.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But we need to focus on the same thing, like getting the people in control of our government again. That's what we need. And it doesn't even matter. Like, we don't even have time to elect somebody new to act on climate change. We have to get the people that are right there, right now, who have the power to do something, and push them to do the right thing. And that's going to require everybody getting on the same damn page and quit doing the horse race bullshit about who we're going to vote for and when. We need to focus on what we want and have the same message until those people up at the top get it and have to do something about it.
Well, I think the government shutdown is kind of interesting.
I
think that helps a lot too.
We're not going to respect each other. If you're okay with the corruption,
I'm not okay with the corruption.
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm saying the collective you. I'm saying the collective you.
Jesus, I am
sorry.
the corruption. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to.
No, but you see what I'm saying? That's the point. Is if you want people to come together, you have to know what the problem is, how it operates, and then you have to be able to acknowledge that the people that you support the most are implicated and complicit, and they allow it.
I am not supporting anybody.
I know, but I'm not talking. I'm not saying it to you.
I do not support.
I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying. I don't mean that as directly to you like that. I'm saying in the way that I feel as in collective you. I don't want to seem like that I'm coming at you like I'm trying to tell you this is what you need to do.
You were doing the horse race thing where who would you support? And I don't want to play into that, but if you ask me, I'm going to tell you.
Well, I only asked that.
I want to focus on issues.
Well, but that's an issue. But that's an issue. I asked that because I want to find out. I want to find out what issues you are okay with, people. Because if you support Bernie, you're okay with the certain issue of supporting and enabling and continuing the corruption. That's why I ask when you support something. Everybody allows certain things to decide because they have a comfortable feeling to that person because they're in their echo chamber. They say a lot of things they're nice. I mean, because you don't like everybody, right? I mean, you don't agree with somebody on everything, right? So
obviously not.
So that's my whole point. Is that is a lot of these things are big important issues if you think about it, and that it's always the other people outside that's out looking in that sees that. But it's us that are the people around us. The blind spots are there is because we see how they are, we see where their heart is, but we're not acknowledging that their actions and what their actions are doing and what it is saying and that for me, that's why I look at it in what they're saying. It says more than just I'm talking about the issues, because the song and dance, if you're playing in the song and dance, that means you're okay with the song and dance. You think that that's the only way it's going to change. And to me, it hasn't changed in the song and dance, so it never will. So the only way to do it now that we have the...
Dude, not all of us have taken acid. I know.
I haven't taken acid.
We're not all enlightened.
I haven't taken acid.
I have... Shrooms?
I've taken shrooms.
At least smoke some weed.
Yeah, of course.
You know. So, no, I'm saying, dude, there's some, like, really fucking square people, dude. Like, your fucking message is fucking wonderful. But, dude, no, like, half the people in this country are not fucking ready for that. Well, that's like a fucking shock and a half, man. See, that's what... Dude, I love your passion. Dude, I'm a fucking communist. How do you fucking think I
But
feel?
but is that not the way to do it? Because here's the thing, because all we have is subcultures, right? American culture has a bunch of different subcultures that make up the right, and these subcultures, some of them meet and some of them cross over. If you have the language of the subcultures, people that understand that are able to take it and put it into the subculture's language, all at the same time. It gives a solid base. But doing that is you have to be able to acknowledge and say, okay, somebody that was a Trump supporter or understands that whole world is able to communicate these thoughts and these ideas in the language and frame it in the way they understand. Hey, because everybody knows the corruption. Everybody knows the corruption. Nobody will deny the corruption. Nobody except the government. Except the government.
The reason I love Bernie was because his whole message was, as a communist, his whole message was generally economic, and that's what I believe is basically our fucking main problem. Like, if we could live like it was fucking Star Trek, and everybody could just, have whatever they needed or access to whatever they wanted. Like, if you wanted to go fucking on a fishing trip, you wanted a fucking bass boat, you could just go somewhere and do that, like, without any cost or whatever. You could just decide I want to take off work for a week and do it.
I think
But you still realize that you still have to work. You still have to do something. But I just if everybody had if everybody had access to, like, if you just had fucking food and fucking like medicine and shit, like, we'd probably be a lot better society.
Well, I mean, quality of life. So, right. I mean, and we can have that. Because we
can,
the wealthiest country in the history of the world, we could have that, but instead we let the top take over.
They Jeff Bezos fucking with $168 billion or whatever.
And that's what we're fighting, and I think fighting amongst each other about who is going to be elected is a horse race, and it's stupid because it's all rigged. It's a horse race and it's rigged. So I love Jesse Ventura. I don't know why, but I have his name written down on this paper in front of me. It's so weird. Look, I don't remember why. I was taking notes and I have his name right there. There's Jesse Ventura.
May I, real quick?
Anyway.
Right,
I love Jesse Ventura. I love him. I would vote for him if he was on the ballot. So I'm okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Bernie that really bothers me.
Oh no, not about Bernie.
Yeah, it's like it's 2 on 2 here. Tag team. Tag team.
Here's what really gets me up.
That's 2 against 2.
All right.
Let's go.
So
I'm up for it.
I was out there canvassing for him. I had blisters on my feet. I was in Orange County, California. There's about 4 million people out there.
James, can I just stop you for just 1 second, really quick?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy. What's up, Bob?
So, answer me this: who was the person that started you on this path to create this channel and to do all this stuff? It was Bernie Sanders.
Good point.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, no.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to destroy your thought.
No, that's all right.
That was a good point, though.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, so, I mean, if someone gets your attention for something and then you find out that they lie and they're not what they say they are, of course that's going to make you wake up even more, because when you
like
find
Obama,
out,
for a lot of people.
Yeah,
and that's
but that was different.
I mean,
a little bit different.
That's
he actually did the bad deeds. Wasn't corralled by a party. He did the bad deeds. So that's a little bit different for me. So you know what? I don't know. I think once people get elected, they're by the establishment, and they're not going to do the things we want anyway. We got to control them in a different way, and that's the cohesive message we need to get across to everybody.
All right. This is important.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the place where Chris went. Is what do you don't know? That's why I'm talking about Bernie. Is when I went out, I canvassed flyers, door to door, blisters, $200 and contributions to his cause, and then he gets there July 16th, 2016, and folds. Not just like, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to do this, but he like folds bad. And I mean, the internal airways of what happened, you guys don't know this part. Nobody knows this part. But there was a moment of complete and total darkness. And we're trying to find out what happened, what's going on, what the fuck did I just do for nothing? Right?
I
For
felt like
nothing.
that. I felt like that. I
So
was a
at that point,
delegate for him.
yeah,
I was
so at that point. But
delegate.
here's the thing. We don't know why he went in that direction. Nobody knows.
No, nobody
There's
knows.
speculation, there's assumptions, there's laid claims, whatever the case may be. But here's the biggest point I have to say about Bernie is why in the fuck would you want to get hosed by the same guy twice?
He doesn't think he will.
I mean, but you know that he won't stand up to it.
I don't think, or I don't know. That's the thing. Is
No.
Go ahead.
You know, he's a strong individual. Like I think most people that are strong people think that they can do what they set their mind to. Like if he thinks he was going to fail, I don't think he would have tried in the first place.
But
So,
he let them win. He let them steal.
He didn't try.
Come on, Stevie.
Come on, Stevie. Come on, Stevie.
He set himself.
Come on, Stevie.
I think.
Where'd you come from?
Okay, let me. I'm gonna play like a little devil's advocate and just put myself in the mind of Bernie Sanders for 1 second. If I was Bernie Sanders and I was thinking like Bernie Sanders, I've been an independent progressive for 50 years before I succumbed to having a caucus with the Democrats
You're not
and
even
run
that
on
old.
Democratic party. Hold on, and then okay. I know for a fact that I'm getting screwed over in this 2016 election, and the only way that I'm ever going to be able to run for president again is if I do what I'm going to do.
What
So,
the Democrats make you do.
Right. Yeah.
So, but who do you mean? Like
right. Forever.
who's?
You'll never be on TV
But see-
again. You'll
See what
they'll-
you
they'll
just said?
destroy him. They'll somehow,
See what you just said? You just said his mind is controlled by them. So if you think he thinks that way, that means he will not stand up to him. If he thinks he has to have the Democratic's permission to do that,
He
that
really
That
does
as a
till he gets
breaking
to the
point.
presidency.
Right, so but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Let him finish.
Well, Chris was saying something.
No, I was just saying that I think he thinks because he's old school that he won't be able to get to the presidency without all that, without being able to get the debate time, the media time, and he made a lot of progress. Just getting the TV attention, which wasn't much really, but it was enough to get him elevated to that point, just being running in that Democratic Party.
Yeah, and now he's
So-
on TV all the time.
Yeah, and I think that was his biggest thing. I don't even think he
and
cares
as
if
much
he gets
as-
the
I know
presidency.
as
Look
much
what he's
as-
accomplished. He got $15 an hour for Amazon, Disneyland, and he's doing stuff outside of the presidency because he made all
Because of what
that
he did. Yeah.
because of what he did.
Well, it's because of his influence. He does have influence. There's not.
Yeah. I would have loved that. I would have loved that. But Chad, I think we all can agree.
He never stood up.
We all agree that he didn't stand up the way he should have.
Yes.
I think every single one of us agree
Yeah, we
with
do.
the
All
point
of us.
that he should have stood up to the election fraud and to every other bullshit thing that happened to him during the election. I think all of us agree on that.
Yes. Yes.
That was what was so disappointing.
Hold on, Chad.
When the whole DNC thing went down, first of all, the first blow was New York, right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, we can debate about Iowa and the coin flips and things like that, but we really know for a fact, New York, ballots were thrown out. People were obstructed. People could not cast the votes that they wanted. The votes that they wanted to do. Nevada was bad.
Yes.
I mean, there was so much corruption when it comes to the integrity of our vote. So when we cast our votes, we don't know where it's going.
Yeah,
we don't know if it's being thrown out. I have no way of going and go down to my
that's my point. No, but wait, Stevie, you have a great point there.
Go ahead.
We don't know, and that's why your alliance idea is such a great idea, and it's inspired me hugely. And I've been talking to Dave in Independent Outsider, and we're working on something, and you need to be a part of it because you inspired the whole thing. So
I'm with you. I got your back. I got your back.
We need to be all together on this. Dave has my number. You're welcome to call me anytime.
Oh, for sure. What I would like to see is a coalition between the Appalachian Alliance and
I want a redneck rebellion. I love redneck. But after you told that story, and if you start telling that story to more and more people, I think it will totally resonate because it's all about the workers and rising up. I love that story. I told my husband that story after hearing it, and it's like I've always been a proud redneck, but I didn't really know what it meant, until you told that story, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, that's why I'm a proud redneck. I've always been a hardworking. I've always done men jobs and stuff. It's like,
what jobs? What jobs?
Man jobs.
Man jobs. Like I've man dominated jobs. Like the job I have now, there's like 100 and like 30 men and like 5 women. Okay. That's the kind of work I've done my whole entire life.
My grandma would be super proud of you.
Yeah.
She always told me, she said, don't ever let a man show you up. Ever.
Oh no, I had to work twice as hard. And I've been top in the country in my job as well. Not that I make a ton of money, but I certainly do better than $9 an hour, which I don't know how you survive on that. I have no clue. I wish I could just take you into my ranch and let you enjoy my life, because we do have a good life. We have it's only 2 acres here, but
that's fantastic that you can acknowledge that. I mean, so many people have a good life that they don't even realize that they have it.
Oh, I know I have it.
People with the next door neighbors that they don't even realize what they have. You know what I mean? So, like, just to be able to be comfortable with what you have and want to be able to share that with other people is like.
Well, we struggle. Don't get me wrong. We struggle.
Of course. It's America. Of course you're struggling.
Yeah.
Like,
but we have what we have, and I'm not going to let this go.
That's part of being an American. It's part of the struggle.
We share what we have. I have my daughter and my son-in-law living with us, and there's an older lady. She's like going to be 80 this year. She's moving in with us. But we have to do that to support what we have.
You have a huge heart, and that's what
to let that happen.
No, Lisa Hauserman was doing that because it's your birthday.
Oh my god, that was so embarrassing.
You're 35, right, Chris?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm just saying, you look 35. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, you lied, son of a bitch. But
Bob,
yeah.
Bob is supposed to say 34, and then Chad's supposed to be 33. So what the fuck? No, not you, goofy.
If I was to guess, I'd say 39 tops.
Who, Chris?
Yeah.
Nah, she's like 34, 35.
I mean, like 39 tops. I
You
mean,
guys lie so bad.
That's not a lot. I would say 39 tops. Tops.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, here's this. Okay, guess how old it was there. Wait.
No way.
Yesterday.
20.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, I was 17, but that was in the 80s.
That was bony leg.
Okay, just because
Yeah, you know what? I wish I
you.
had pictures like that.
Oh,
80s.
Oh, how
Nice bangs.
that's obvious.
I have no pictures of me at any stage of my life when I
just have
I
a
have
pile of them
nothing.
here. Oh, you want to see something fun? Did you
I've
see
been
the
a
video
dog's butt since
with Graham, Stevie, when I did my ex-husband, who is now a female?
Oh, look at you.
That's my
You're
ex-husband.
my obsession.
Her name is Jeanette now.
You look like a perfume commercial.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You should have
That's
been
why
on
people used to call me Molly. They thought I looked like Molly Ringwald.
You were on Vanity Fair.
No, I was a model.
Vanity
I was a model back in my younger days, but
yeah,
I'm
you
old
was-
now.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell.
I'm
I wish I had
48
that
now.
ability.
Really
Never
old.
been there.
Maybe it's a dated thing, but I think you're way prettier now than what you were back then.
Yeah.
Aw.
You've grown into it.
Super gorgeous.
I'm way more
Well, wait,
confident than I
Bob's
was
good
then.
looking
I'll tell
kid.
you that.
Wait, Bob's a good looking kid, but I gotta say,
Definitely not
Not
as pretty as Stevie.
Bob, of course.
right.
Not nearly as pretty as Stevie, because he wins hands down. For
No
sure.
way.
Mhm.
All right, now that you're done
Okay,
there,
Uh-oh.
walk down memory lane. Yeah, y'all are
Blushing.
gorgeous. Especially. Oh
I
yeah,
know.
Chad, you're hot.
Captain Chad over there.
Going.
You could make such a pretty baby like Ava if you weren't pretty.
At
Aw.
least you made a gorgeous baby. That's
I
what's
don't
important.
know. Like I look at both my parents and I'm like, I don't know. I don't
What
get
the
it.
fuck happened?
Am I adopted? I don't know.
I am.
She's such a sweetheart. Oh my gosh, she's so big. I can't believe it that she. It feels like yesterday that she was born. Like you came on here and you were like, "Yeah, man, girl just had her baby." Like I can't believe it. I can't believe she's so big.
Oh, we got a sausage fest. Oxilla says, sausage fest, sausage sauce. I hate it.
It's not. What?
Chad is muted. Chad, you're muted. What's up?
What the hell is
2 to
that?
3. It's 3 to 2. What do you mean?
Oh, I guess
Look,
I've been
look,
muted
we
the
can
whole.
all
I've been
pat
muted for a
each
while.
other-
Then I've been talking.
We can all pat each other on the back. We can all
You don't
pat
know
each
me.
other on the back.
How dare you gender me?
Did we gender you?
You're hetero.
You don't know what I have.
Sexual.
Are you a Zimster or you know?
Zer?
You know,
Yes,
you're a
sir.
mod. You're a mod.
No.
Ska.
So Jesse Ventura, 2020,
All right, back to
Back to
2020.
the topic.
Jesse Ventura, the
By the
body,
way,
Jesse the
guys,
body
listen.
Ventura.
Listen, everybody, listen. I want to say this right now. I am so excited. I think that we have a great movement. Jesse isn't perfect, but for God's sake, Green Party could really use the boost.
I
Am I
would
not
love
right?
it.
You know, I honestly think, dude, Jesse he wouldn't win, but I think he could at least get the 10% needed to get the Green Party onto the national stage.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the most important part.
Absolutely.
Way to go.
Thing.
Bob, you nailed it, bro.
That's it.
Exactly.
But let's just say, you know, the thing about Jesse, though,
You never know. Maybe shit could happen and go crazy.
You
Yeah.
You never know. It
Well,
could be the
yeah.
next
You-
Trump.
It-
It could be
I
the
go
next
for him.
Trump.
Shit.
I'd be okay with that.
He don't. He won't run to lose either. He won't run to lose, and that's the thing about Jesse, and he wants it. you could tell he's waiting for the right time because he's amping up. I think
They'll find the banks.
Okay, let's put it this way.
Go ahead.
Establishment is going to put forward an establishment candidate on the Dems and definitely won't ever vote for Republican. So I hope to God Jesse comes on the Green Party. That's my point of view. Because
I think that like if Jesse Ventura decided to run, like and announced it, like the national media would be all over that.
Huge.
Oh yeah,
like that's what I can't. James,
you get
if
attention
you know
like
all the
Trump
people,
did. Exactly
Well,
like Trump did.
well, that's the thing. Everybody in the Green Party, all the Green Party people, like James is fighting with all these people. Like they're like, oh, why would you ever suggest Jesse Ventura? Well, because you can actually get like on the news and stuff. Like people would actually talk about him.
Yeah, they would.
They would bring the Green Party to a national platform, just like
he was the governor of Minnesota, former governor of Minnesota.
So he has background.
Executive level.
Yeah,
Right.
he has the background.
Absolutely.
So
He has more governmental experience than Obama did.
And he'd bring Republicans, Libertarians.
Obama was a state
lot of
senator for like
different-
2 years in
Mhm.
Illinois from the south side of Chicago. Like literally, I saw him talk in like, he was still a senator and he came out to the community college out in McHenry County here where I live. And he had a talk.
You saw him?
Yeah, before he was president, yeah. And dude, I went with a friend that still lives like in the next town over, and my friend was like, "Holy shit, this dude's gonna be the next president." I was like, "You're fucking nuts. He's black." I mean, seriously, at that point, that was crazy.
I understand.
No, because there's never been one.
Right.
Right. And understanding how racist the system is, and that's what I try to say.
No, yeah, it's not me. I would have.
Right.
What he was saying, I would have voted.
But there's the point. There's a whole a loaded conversation too about the way they exploited him being black and how it makes it hard to even criticize him without being painted.
Yes.
Painted as some sort of racist or whatnot.
Don't even paint that. Don't even go there.
I'm just saying.
No, Chad's right. It was like there was like a don't even go there thing, right? Don't even say it. Real quick, Raw McLaren, Tulsi should invite Jesse onto the debate stage.
See, that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. See, that's
fucking.
And everybody, you all hate AOC and you don't like Tulsi, I guess, right? You guys don't like Tulsi.
I like Tulsi because she's a great surfer.
I like Tulsi better than AOC.
See, AOC. She's 28 years old, man.
I don't know
She
what
introduced like the 70% marginal tax rate into the national conversation.
I get it.
It's crazy.
I get it, but she doesn't know. She doesn't know she's a pack. She doesn't know how they're using him, or she's not talking about how they're using her.
No, dude.
Listen. They are the shield. They are shielding. They are shielding change, real change. They're shielding real change because they're saying, look at these preposterous stuff, and they're letting them do that, and then what they do, they just like Trump, they give him tons of media attention, and then they slam him, and then what they do is they make it seem like the Republicans are the ones doing it, and they're using that as a way to diffuse the people that are upset at the Democratic Party in order to make for the 2020. I get what you're saying. I understand the implication or the impact of being able to introduce that. What I'm saying is that if you play in that game and you allow them to exploit
people are talking
you,
about a 70% marginal tax rate, and like a lot of people are being like, yeah, that makes sense. I call that a win.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm a fucking communist. And how fucking insane do you think this shit makes me? I mean, honestly.
That's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, I feel
She
you.
still supports the corruption, though. You can talk all day long. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. That's the whole thing. Is if you put somebody in there that says all the progressive things, yeah, you give them all of the progressive things to say. That doesn't mean shit's going to happen. What it does is it takes the steam out of things because they know how to what they're doing is they're test bar. They're using that whole thing.
Okay, Chad.
Sorry.
Chad.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Perfect world for you. Calmly, just without interruption, just a nice calm. What is the perfect world for you? What would happen? I just want to know.
A perfect world. I mean, where everybody has a quality of life.
No, I mean, as far as who runs and whatever, who people vote for, what's your perfect outcome?
Well, the perfect outcome is
your forward timeline from this point on, your forward political timeline with everyone perfectly, who you want to run, in what positions,
what? Okay.
for what reasons.
I want.
Thank you, Bob.
I want the people running, the people that we actually put our interest in, are the people that are actually raising the important issues. And if you're not talking about the most important issue, which is the corruption, which is making sure that the people that are corrupting it are taken out of the system and are prosecuted and are.
Okay, who is that? Slow down.
The whole fucking thing. All the presidents.
No, who?
All the presidents. I mean, what do you think's happening? Here's the thing: is if you're not talking about all of Congress is complicit in this game, because they're all complicit in it. They're all saying, okay, I'm gonna take money, so I'm gonna get you the contracts.
Okay, I know.
Okay.
They're corrupt.
Okay, so
who are you? I already know they're corrupt.
Okay.
Everybody here knows that.
Someone that is against corruption. Someone that is against corruption and that understands that's Jesse Ventura.
And what if Jesse doesn't run? Then what?
I'm gonna run.
All right. Awesome.
Dude, you know, like
awesome sauce.
I always get attacked. I get attacked about the Bernie cult of personality shit. And you're really like borderline getting on that with Jesse, to be honest, man.
No.
Like I love Jesse, dude.
No, because here's it's the point.
God, you're so fucking.
Think about it.
You're so right.
Think about it.
No, we have to walk that line because while we advocate for him, I don't want us to seem like we're foaming at the mouth.
Well,
I don't want us to seem like we're just like in a fit of like just godless.
Well, okay,
like,
right, I understand.
And use our facts and our words to express why we think we need to know him inside and out and the policies that he's going to have. The problem I'm having with Jesse right now is the fact that Jesse isn't saying that he's running.
He's not committing.
I need commitment.
Okay.
And at this
right.
it's
like a relationship that I'm not
would you
getting.
let me finish my fucking point?
That Cornish tall boy. What is he drinking?
2020, we are going to cast our vote.
What is James drinking?
Less than a year. In like what? A year, give or take. We're going to cast our votes. And that we need somebody to actually go out there and say, we're going, hey, I want to be your president. So that way we can go forward and actually advocate for him. But the fact that he's kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
It makes it hard.
It makes it really hard.
You gotta, here.
Well, let me.
He's got to the end of this month for me. He's got the end of this month.
Let me.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bob.
Well, let me answer.
Hold on.
All right, let me answer because you asked me. You said something about me being a cult, but go ahead.
No, I'm not.
Not you.
I got
Schultz.
a thought that I'm gonna forget
Careful
if I
about the
don't
way
get
that
out.
we advocate for him.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. I know you're using your thinking brain. A lot of people are bad at that, but I know you're using your thinking brain.
What I like about
Right under the eye.
Go ahead.
No, Stevie, like, okay, I know you guys like with Bernie and stuff. Like, you're behind Ojeda and stuff, aren't you? Like, I kind of like him. No, not at all. No.
No. I like him. He's like a Bernie 2.0. Like he's got a lot of the same domestic policy type stuff. but when it comes to foreign affairs, he's not on point. He still thinks that Desert Storm was something that needed to happen. He still thinks that Ronald Reagan was a great president.
I like having him in the conversation, but
I mean, he goes
Right. Agreed.
point
I
of the
think it's
military
interesting how
industrial
people like
complex.
on the right, like the so-called right and left, are now like.
Yeah, either
Well,
he's not
let me answer.
Either way, let me finish my thought,
Good.
please. Either way, it's not good for us, because as long as the military-industrial complex can go to whatever country they want and kill whoever they want, first of all, that's wrong. Second of all, we're never going to get, Medicare for all? We're not going to get free college, because all of the money that we make here is going to go straight to our military, straight to it. We're not going to see a dime of the work that we put into our country, because it's all going to go towards killing people in other countries. And I just can't stand for that. I can't do it. We give money to Saudi Arabia so that they can do their shit. We give money to Israel so they can
So you're a
do their
nationalist?
shit. We give money to our
I'm just
military
kidding.
so that we
Joke.
can
Sorry.
in Afghanistan and Iraq and all these other countries. God only knows how many places.
I'm a protector.
Well, yeah. Why should we? Well, yeah. Like Saudi Arabia came and ran 2 planes in the big buildings we had. Why should we give them money?
Replaced.
Exactly.
What is the most precious resource that we have on this earth? Not
Water.
gold, not water, not anything. Water can be replaced faster than a human being. Chris, I can't replace Chris. If she's gone, that's it. You can't have another Chris. You can't have another Chad.
But you can't have Chris or Chad or anybody without
Don't
water.
say William.
Well, I think she's saying you can get water from somewhere else,
You can't
whatnot.
replace that.
Right.
That's not. It's
There's-
one in a trillion. You can't replace that.
That's true. No, I
Human
agree.
life is the most
Okay.
precious resource that we have, and yet we're throwing it away for what? Money?
Yes, money.
Well, see, okay, so there's so think about that.
Profit.
It's all economic.
Let me go ahead.
It's all about money.
Expendable for something that is infinite.
All right. Let me just
I
say.
can't abide
Let me
by that.
hold on. Let me get in there. Let me get in there real quick. About the whole thing. Because
Hold on, guys. Chad, hold on. You guys, hold on for a second.
oh, William Pounds raised his hand.
It's the for-profit model. It's been around for thousands of years. If you are up there with the 5, 3, 1%, not you, Bob. You're not there. But I know. But what I'm saying is, it's been there for long. So to break this cycle, it's going to have to do with something
I
extreme.
got a sub comment.
Hold on.
Hold on, Bob. So something extremely different would be Jesse Ventura.
Well,
That would be extremely different. Go ahead, Bob.
hold on. Well, let me finish mine. Let me jump in. Let me jump in. You
Real quick.
you had the eye twitch last time. Okay.
Everybody know when our whole like the medical shit went to total pot was when
Right.
it was like until like 1962 or something. No medical profession could operate under the for-profit model. After that, the for-profit model was legalized for medicine,
Yes.
and everything went to shit after that.
I remember going to the hospital in the 80s, and in the elevator, it would say you cannot be denied services for lack of ability to pay. Like
Well,
every
that was-
hospital, you went.
That was what the
said that.
libertarians, for a short period of time before Ronald Reagan, I believe.
Yeah, it was in the
during
80s.
Ronald Reagan.
Well-
yeah, it was like that was Reagan. One of
Let-
Reagan's
well, okay,
things.
let
That
me-
was-
let-
That's how he gained populist support. Was that he said, no one will be dying on the street, because before that, like you could go to the emergency room and they could say, "Oh, who's your insurance company?" You could say, "I don't have insurance." And they'll be like, "Have a nice day, sir." You know,
So-
before that, like that was,
yeah.
part of
Well, let me-
Reagan- that was part of Reagan's populist movement.
But so here.
Laws that, like, you got to realize these
These people are. It's all.
It's elite. Well, first of all, it's families. It's these families.
Gaining power
So
and
Bob's right. Hold on.
profit.
So Bob's saying for profit, right? Bob?
Yeah. Let me say something. Let me say something.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. Let me say something. So. Yes, it's the for-profit, but remember, it's these elite families. They're running certain things, and then they pass it on. It's a culture. They teach their kids, and they look at. Hold on. Now let me finish. You've asked me to hold on a bunch of times.
One comment.
No, you said that last time.
Elite. Dude, the media is totally taken over by these people.
Right. Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Anderson Cooper is a fucking.
Okay, we agree. Hold on. Let me.
Like a Rothschild or something.
But no, you're Vanderbilt. Let me.
Whatever.
But that's the point. Here's the point. The point is if you're not talking about the corruption, that bottom line, then you're all. Hold on. Not you. I'm saying the general as a candidate. If the candidate that I'm looking for is not talking about the corruption and saying these are the people that are complicit and are actually the ones doing it and continuing it and propping it up. If you're not talking about that, then I can't support you, because all you're doing, all you're doing is actually you're saying, oh, we need this, we need that. But if you take out the corruption from the beginning, everything would fall into place. Now you said, okay, the whole thing about Jesse Ventura. Now we're doing this is because I'm passionate. I want to put my energy into something, and I like what he's saying. He's against the corruption. He says I won't ever be a Democrat. I won't ever be a Republican. This is the way the way that they run it. It's all about a money system. It's corruption. So he talks about that. He's angry. He's mad. Hold on.
Dude, I think. I really.
But you're asking me.
Support from both sides.
Well, hold on. But you're asking me what you asked. You guys asked me what I look in candidate and why Jesse or and this whole kind of cult thing. But I'm saying he's angry. He's clever, he's a showman, and he cares about people. Like some of the comments that he talks, that he talks about his wife, that the way he speaks about his wife is different from the way these politicians. There's a difference in the essence of him.
He's a real dude. He's real. Dude.
Oh,
he doesn't give a
so
fuck.
for me,
he's got money, dude. He's cool. He's cool as he is. That's his thing, dude. He's happy with the life he has, which is like a lot of people. Most people aren't.
Let William talk real quick. Let William's raised his hand here, man. Let him say something. Go ahead, William.
Yeah, I want to say something.
You
I know.
You been smoking? You seem a little slow. I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding. I'm totally busting your balls. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, man.
I just fucked up his shit. I'm sorry, Willie. Dude, Pounds, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna mute Schultz. Schultz just got muted.
So nobody could hear what I was
Why
saying?
Why is Schultz getting muted? Wait, what? What'd Schultz say?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna try to say what I was saying again. So Jesse's going to announce what he's going to do in February. Jimmy Dore's going to fill in for him on his RT show. And we'll just have to wait until February for an answer from Jesse.
So after February.
Yep.
After February.
Fine.
Well, during February, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, during February. Because he said in December, I'm going to be in Mexico for a couple months. And then I'm going to
clear his head and
Woo, boys, you ever been to
Jimmy
Mexico?
Dore.
Woo! Sorry, you should have.
But yeah, Jimmy Dore is going to fill in for now.
Nice.
Chad's mic is very loud.
Am I loud? Sorry. Oh shit, my bad.
I mean, Jimmy Dore has filled in for Jesse on his show many times.
I'm a big fan. I saw a show. I went to a show in Chicago this past year.
Jimmy?
Good time. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Jimmy Dore and Jesse.
I saw. I don't know. Everybody knows Snork, right? I saw Snork at the show.
Oh, really, Mitchell?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw
Snork might
Mitchell,
take care,
and
Mitchell.
Oh, that's
I was
so
I
Well,
he was I was like,
That's awesome.
hey Snork, he's walking in. And he parked in some he parked far away. Me and my friend went and got his car because he was afraid to go by himself.
Oh,
And
It's
my
just a
wife,
broken bone.
was talking with Jimmy and his wife while
Steph?
while me and Stork and my friend were walking to his car. So
I'd rather be
I didn't
talking with Jimmy and his wife.
I wish, yeah, that's
That
I
would be
would I would have liked that.
Do you
I
ever
got
watch
to meet
Jimmy's
I,
live stream?
we
and,
we
like,
pulled up at the intersection right at
Uh-huh.
the theater there, and Graham
wanna hear what
Elwood
you're
was
asking.
crossing the street.
Oh, Graham.
So yeah, we yelled at him, and he came over to the car, and it was surreal. Like I couldn't even believe it. Like I'm like,
That's
holy
cool.
shit, these people! Like, are you kidding me?
That's how I felt when I met
It's real.
Lee
Like it
Camp
makes it
and
real. It feels like it makes it.
Tim Black. That was cool. But
Yeah.
what were you gonna say, Stevie?
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. I totally interrupted.
Have
I'm
y'all
drunk.
been
I'm sorry.
watching, Jimmy Dore show, and then Steph starts talking, and then I wish Steph had her own spin-off show.
Me too. I've asked her about that.
She
Yeah,
just
not
friended,
enough. She
I
just-
sent her a friend request on Facebook.
just-
And
She's
she
so
friended me.
articulate, but yet her man keeps over talking her.
Yeah.
As Stevie's putting her hand in.
You got to realize Jimmy's old school
It's really
dude from
frustrating when that
Chicago.
happens.
You know, like it's
But
context.
it is his
But
show.
She's
But
super smart.
Right.
I love what she has to say. I mean, she's not
I
as
do
funny
too.
as Jimmy, but I think that she has a lot to offer, and I would love to hear her to be able to expand on her ideas.
I would too. I would too. But he does, in all fairness, when he realizes he's doing it, he does say, wait, go ahead, Steph. Go ahead.
No, yeah. He does catch himself.
Yeah, occasionally he does.
He needs to say,
to be
here's
honest,
the Demerano
I was-
show.
Yeah.
At the theater, the theater is connected to a restaurant/bar in Chicago where I saw him, and I had a beer in my hand and I had to go take a piss, and I was walking, and the main to get to the bathroom. The bathrooms are downstairs, and as they pulled up, I opened the door. Steph Zamorano had her suitcase behind her, and I opened the door for her, and she's like, "Oh, do you know where I need to go?" I was like, "I don't work here."
What?
Yeah, she I opened the door for her as they pulled up. I had to go to the bathroom,
What?
the main entrance. Yeah, and I opened the door for her as she came in.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. And she's like, "Oh, hi." I'm like, she thought I worked at the at the venue because I opened the door for her when she came in. I was like, "No, I don't.
That's
I was just going to
awesome.
the bathroom."
Like you
I
the
was-
AUG.
Yeah,
Like
It was
that.
crazy, dude.
I
Like
think
I
we
said,
should have a meetup
it was the most
there.
surreal experience of my life. I'm like, I watched you guys on
Yeah.
the internet, and I just opened the door for you.
We should have a meetup at one of Jimmy Dore's shows, or
You know
Graham
what,
or
guys?
something.
That's a good idea. I think we should plan within the next 4 to 6 months
There's a lot of West Coast
to go
people
to
on
to
here.
go to fucking Jimmy Dore show and just fucking rate it.
He
Yes,
just needs to
yes.
come to Utah because that's closer to y'all than California.
Hey, give me a break. I'm in Chicago. I get a show a year.
Well, Graham's coming in May.
Yeah.
Graham
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna
that's
go
what I
see
say.
that.
Either Jimmy Dore or Graham. At least Graham will hear us out. You know that for a
Well,
fact.
well,
We're
hopefully,
gonna do a live show, me and Graham, when he comes to town in May. So
Oh,
That's
fantastic.
Nice.
And dude, Mitchell's Snork's a fucking patron of Graham, and
Yeah.
he gets on with Graham. I really think that's the way to do it.
We should take
Not to
upstate.
seem petty or anything, but you got to use your channels. That's a good channel.
how do you think I got started?
Yeah,
Just
right.
saying.
It's called networking.
And now I
wave of
got
the
on
future.
Uphill Media, so
Yeah,
you know.
Graham gave me a
Well,
leg
and-
up, and he helped, get the word out. I mean, what I'm trying to do is help connect people from outside of Appalachia to inside Appalachia. I want to warn people on the West Coast about what's happening because they think that they're exempt. They think that they're somehow
Because they're in
better.
Democraticville.
Yes, they think that somehow that their lives are better because they don't vote for Manchin or Trump or whatever. But at the same time, guess what? They have refineries in their oceans. They have refineries on their coasts. They have all these things. They have to deal with poverty
Only
and massive
only
homelessness
140.
and massive homelessness and
Nuclear power plants on
unaffordable
fault lines.
housing and
Yeah.
all these other things. I mean, like there's so
Our
much.
water quality is only like 50% worse than yours.
And I want to say to them, like, what do you think is different between my state and yours?
There isn't. Even Colorado is hugely fracked and drilled and has a lot of pollution going on right now.
Really.
Wyoming, the least populated state in the freaking country, has huge problems with pollution because of the fracking. There's freaking documentaries on it if you watch on YouTube. There's documentaries on gosh, I don't remember what the name is it right now, but there's a town in Wyoming where people's cows are getting poisoned and their air is poisoned and they don't even have potable water, and it's on their own land. They're fracking on private property because they don't own the mineral rights, and we have that same issue here in Utah. Okay, I'm going to go on my environmentalist.
All right, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad we got to have a conversation.
We got to do it again for sure. Maybe when I'm not so tired, and I was already like halfway asleep.
Same
When
here.
I'm like,
I had to go to work I had to leave here about 7:30 in the morning. So
And
it's
thanks
going
for
on 24 hours at this point.
thanks for not
okay,
getting
well,
too
you need to go to bed.
thanks for not getting too offended about my loudness and rah rah.
I don't get offended easily. FYI, not
good.
offended easily. So
Okay, good. Well, I hope
Hopefully we can
I hope
talk
I
more
didn't.
about
So
this stuff. And
definitely stay in touch, Stevie.
yes, I definitely will, because this alliance saying I'm gonna meet you in the middle.
Yeah,
You're on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, and my
I'm in
plan is
Utah.
to create a wave that we meet in the middle. All right,
Yeah, we'll figure it
we're gonna
out.
do that.
Yeah,
Colorado?
Big green wave, yes.
I'm in Colorado on the 21st.
Okay, all right.
That's where we should meet, and then we could have like a
No, we're going to Vegas. We're meeting in Vegas.
I have no
Vegas
desire
is
for
only 8-10 hours away. I don't know. It's not very far.
no desire for Vegas, baby.
I know you don't, but I do.
Yeah, Wendover is better. It's smaller, cheaper.
I want to go to the country.
You know, Utah's got some great, like, Sugar Falls, awesome.
You got to come in the summer because then I can show you around. We can go kayaking, rock climbing, horseback riding.
Exactly. That's what I tried to tell him. He came out here in the winter, which is the worst time to come to West Virginia. In the summertime, there's whitewater rafting and hiking and all this beauty that surrounds you. In the winter, it's just dead trees and coal dust. That's what we have to offer. So
That's the way it
it's like
feels
the
here.
worst time to come out here. But
Unless you're a skier, it's like winter sucks here. There's inversion and crap.
He's weird. He's
But
in all
in-
that physical stuff.
I grew up skiing, so I was a cross country skier and a downhill skier and all that, but I hate skiing. Kayaking is fun. That's all good. Keeps pee pot? Who the freak?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. What the hell?
No, we have snowshoe here, which is really good for skiing and stuff. But I don't know. That's never been my thing. First of all, I don't like physical activity. I'm not one for like being out of breath and stuff.
I kinda
And
like
then second of
physical
all, I do
activity.
not like cold. So
I don't like cold.
two hated activities combined into one.
Cold
So-
is not a good thing for me anymore. I didn't mind it when I was younger, but now I hate it. It hurts.
Maybe snowboarding or inner tubing. Inner tubing's more my lane.
Okay.
Inner tubing is definitely.
Yeah, that's the
Horseback
way to go.
riding. Go the
I
horse.
don't need to do that what is it, French fry pizza stuff. I don't.
Pizza, French fries.
All
I
right.
know my strong
Um,
suit in physical activity and sports is not that. So
Okay. Horseback
that's-
ring, you're
that's
just sitting.
James's thing. That's
You
it.
can just sit on a horse. Okay. And the horse does the walking.
I have been on a horse before, and it's so much fun. It is so much fun. I've only done it like once or twice, but yeah, I would love to do that again.
You should. And kayaking, we have kayaks too.
They do the work for me, but I kind of feel bad for them because my fat ass has to sit on them. But
oh yeah, yeah. I guarantee you, I weigh more than you now. But it doesn't. The horses, you're like 10% of the horse's body weight. It's like you're carrying 10 pounds. I mean, seriously, it's not even an afterthought. But anyway, you need to come out to Utah if you can, and we'll.
Oh God, yes, we need to hang out at some point for sure, for sure.
It would be fun. It would be
All
fun.
right, and we'll catch you later.
James,
I gotta get going.
You want to say anything, James? Aloha.
All right.
Aloha and Nui or whatever it is.
Is James still there?
What did you say?
All right.
Nice to meet you, James.
All I have to say is upstate Rita, Roosevelt, Oxalix.
He's got the Chinese eyes going on.
I just want to say this, guys. It's very important. Let's just put out the word. Get Jesse over here to the Green Party. Get him moving. Why not? Why the fuck not?
What could have hurt?
Who the
I'm
fuck?
not.
What else do we have? What else the fuck? What else is there to do?
It's only
I'm not against him.
You're free to do anything.
There you go.
I would vote for him if he went for the Green Party. I would vote if for no other reason to get a Green Party up there and get them in the news and move everybody left. Otherwise,
Which it would. Just have it in the news would move the conversation left. Just having it in the conversation.
No, I agree with that. I think we need to do other things outside of the elections, though, and that's what I'm going to get together with Stevie on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get together with you. I think I've got your email address somewhere.
It's just the natural progressive at Gmail. So
okay, all right. Well, that's easy enough.
The natural. Don't forget the.
Get on her show.
Yeah,
She's awesome.
I'll send you. Actually, no.
Look at whose dog is that?
I'm gonna post it in the chat. If you want to send me a text message or.
You want me to put it in the chat?
No, I'm gonna put mine in the chat.
Dad, you're doing it to SirChad.
Oh. Okay.
He already knows your number.
Am I 741?
No, you're giving it to everybody. You're gonna give it to everybody.
I don't care.
No. Let me just give you my
babe. No.
There's nobody in the chat that I don't give it.
You give to everybody.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show, and we can finish this part here. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show. But
okay,
I'm just sending a message in Twitter.
While we argue.
Twitter message.
thank you, guys.
Message.